All right, we are live. We are live. It is, and all of a sudden, as soon as I go live, my internet connection goes down to 0 bars. Of course, it never works out the way it's supposed to. Let's see here. Okay, did it just get better? I think it did. Okay, tonight I am joined with my good friend Frankie here. Abertron Lead Salad. All right, my man. So there's the title, the attacks. It's on all fronts. It's like whether it's the Tartarian community, whether it's the free energy community, whether it's the anti-gravity community. There's just a whole lot of FUD, and it's just the exact same in the crypto community too. Just FUD and hate everywhere, sadly, at the moment. But we're here to figure out what the heck is going on. There's
He doesn't want to change.
Yeah, the system, the resistance of the momentum of the system that's in place to the change that is coming and happening. So a few of the topics tonight that I will be going over. One is fundraising. It is Black Friday in the U.S. sales, and Monday, I think, what is it called? The Online Monday or something or other. The most amazing sales. I just bought a brand new phone off of eBay through half the donations that I've received over the last little while. So hopefully very soon I'll actually have a phone that I can open my emails and actually see all of the images that everyone is sending me and like download or use them. And it's or even receive picture text messages. It's so bad. And then like the current phone I have, it's just not doing it. So that's being resolved. And then fundraising, I'm trying to get, I think, like $150 more into the remaining amount of what I have in my PayPal right now to get a new laptop that has a much better video card and the processing to be able to start doing the actual editing. And what I've also already done and got a permanent cold storage hard drive now that I've been downloading all the copies of all of the episodes of the different podcasts. I've also been getting all of the audio files of each of the podcasts, so now I'm beginning to organize them. Originally, they were just on my 2 laptops, so that might have also been causing problems in the last couple of streams, because I had so much on the hard drive using up the space. So maybe this helps. That's part of the goal. Another part that I'm doing is getting an extended Ethernet cable, so at least one of the laptops is connected directly in. And then if there shouldn't be Wi-Fi issues. But
Bernie, if more people knew about this and your work, you could do a major GoFundMe, and a laptop would be no problem. You know, it's just people don't understand the importance of it.
Also, let's see. While we're starting out here, good time to check over on Twitch, because I am also live on Twitch. And this Saturday, I'm doing a Twitch I guess themed, but what is the word I'm looking for? Of course, you have to
fundraiser.
remember in the moment. No, not fundraiser. Just I'll be focused on Twitch. I'm going to be running more on the Twitch in the live and learning the stream deck and the stream OBS and the different interfaces of Twitch and multi-streaming with focused on the Twitch aspects.
Sure. Looks like you might have went dead. They're coming after you. I should do a giant fundraiser, and we should buy one of Nikola Tesla's things. There are several of his things for $25,000, and there is a book that he signed for $3,000. And I think I would donate to sort of a GoFundMe thing for a group of selected, trusted people to own this. It's a relic, you know. That's all I'm saying. I think we lost Bernie, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's why I got Bert and Ernie.
Whoa.
This is the bit, isn't it? That confuses me. It's like, did we choose to come here to get this sorted out, or is this just seems a little unfair, doesn't it? That you know, we seem to be here, and there's this parasite messing up our experience.
And you know, I know in my own life, the times that I've made major changes, it was like it became more painful not to change than to change. That was when I made big changes.
You know, it's this whole ridiculous narrative of it's an unsafe world. There's not enough for you. It's scary. Everyone's out to get you, and clearly the old civilization was completely the opposite to that. It was all about empowerment, like literally.
Cosmic resonance, I think they called that one, or
cosmic resonance. That's a better name.
Real science. You can actually produce free electricity, and this is part of what Tesla was doing. Is the differential between the top of the spire to the ground actually creates an electrical differential that you then connect to another wire that goes into the ground, your grounding, put that into the third phase in your circuit, and then you have a bell ringing circuit, and that actually produces plasma electricity out of the air. It's real technology. These things actually function producing electricity. It's crazy.
The movies are the truth and the news is the lies. They've completely flipped it.
You know, when you look at everything with new eyes and you come across information like she was born into a very wealthy family with elite connections, you know, it means something very different now to me than it would have even a few years ago. And it's our free will that they've really also messed with, because we've been lied to and we react based on lies. Just getting their independence and end up in civil wars for 20, 30 years happens a lot.
Because we keep choosing to pick up the gun and use it on ourselves instead of building and uniting and accepting that we are one people, one spirit, one harmony, on one plane that together, united, can achieve anything we dream of.
So do you want to, wake up, or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult?
And then give them pieces of information that they will then pursue themselves and look into, and then they'll wake themselves up.
I was going to mention it's the whole red pill, blue pill of the Matrix. I mean, that of the movie. And you can consider that movie as a documentary because they're telling us something about what's happening here. So do you want to, wake up, or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult? Wake up.
All right, I think I'm back. Not quite sure what and then it says I'm at 0 bars on the internet again. Like, what is going on? Like, you can't even make this up. Weird. And I'm on low definition, low quality, and it's still cropping up, and I just freed up a whole bunch of space off of my computers. This is ridiculous. Well, we are experiencing technical difficulties. In the meantime, shall we begin with things? So here there is the amazing Jeremiah working with some plasma tubes showing control of the different plasma matters within the tube. Very fascinating stuff. Like, I look forward to start testing with some of that myself, and we're going to dive deeper in a future episode into Walter Russell's testing of plasma tubes. Sorry, Frankie, let me bring you back in here. We'll also going into like the monoatomics and the research into what is these metamaterials and the history of it. We'll take a look at some of the legends of the historical mana, prana, or I think mutts, but the palpable gold, the edible gold. Frank, you were bringing up before we went live, for instance, lots of the ancient alchemists. There's stories and documentations of them living for several hundred years, and it's actually like quite common, almost like the most common like lifespan and cycle of any of the rather famous alchemists from about 400 to 600 years ago throughout Eastern Asia, the Germanic areas, the Saxons, all of that. And I'm glad that you've also encountered that in your recent readings of it.
Sure.
Yeah, King Arthur. Yeah, Merlin. All of that going.
The Saint Germain guy, Louis the 15th. He was at Marie Antoinette wrote about him and saying he looked 40 forever for 200 years. There's a bunch of famous people. This is sort of like the smoking gun. It's sort of like the Building 7 thing, It's the smoking gun. There's a recorded version of this dude, and he stayed around. And I wanted to bring that for Ominous, the beatbox dude. I thought about this early on. They said that when Saint Germain played, he played violin. They said he played violin, and it sounded like a symphony playing. Is this dude doing what he was doing? Was he making it sound like? And my question would be too, Ominous. Could you make yourself sound like another violin and use your feet as drums? And they said it sounded as if there was a whole symphony in the room when he played. And this dude's eating monoatomics for sure. He said so, right?
He was specifically.
He literally said so.
He was also eating the palpable gold.
Yep. He said he was an alchemist who had mastered it and could make diamonds bigger and could turn any metal to gold. And he said he remained young and he wouldn't eat around anyone ever. He wouldn't ever consume food around anyone ever. There's a bunch of documentaries on him. And he's very Casanova. Casanova wrote about him.
Do you have
Pretty
the
creepy.
Casanova writing of it? So, like a link,
Yes.
or do you know who he is?
I do. Sorry, you told me to post that and I forgot. There are several really good. Give me a second. I'll post it in the comments, okay? But the dude he was recorded being at least, there were 230 years of people, royalty, saying that they met him, including Marie Antoinette and Casanova, who was a real dude, actually.
Really? See, you say Marianne Antoinette, and then instantly now my girlfriend might actually watch this stream when I tell her that
Sure.
she is involved.
Okay, I wish I could play it, but we don't want a copyright strike. It is really worth watching too because it's pretty much documented. This is a very well documented thing. And this dude, at least 230 years, and he said he was. You know how it is. If you whisper around a room, the story will get changed 4 or 5 times. But these people are all in writing documenting this. Casanova wrote about him in writing. And a lot of people said he never changed from. He appeared to be 45 forever. And then there's an account of him in New Orleans as a vampire, which is sort of like that. Got these monatomics.
Like
They're not
vampire or like cannibalistic vampire.
Allegedly, someone with the same name, the Count of Saint Germain, is what he's called. And I will look this up in a second.
So like a demon doppelganger, or what are we talking?
A chick ran off of a balcony in New Orleans and ran bleeding from the neck. And this dude who called himself Saint Germain. This also could be bullshit story because this is not tied to the dude.
A couple of people having a horrible domestic and probably psychedelic drug induced or
it could be a lot,
or psychoactive, who knows, right? Who knows? Sure. But that
could be just a story made up too, connected to his name.
I will be sending you the link here shortly. I do have to cover a couple other quick topics. All right, there's been some FUD, there's been some attacks, specifically rumors about this development and technology. Hold on, I'm trying to find it here. There we go. On this right here, these devices, and I've reached out to the individuals involved with it. They have assured me that they're putting together the reproduction of running the experiment to reproduce it without any debate sort of thing. It is coming soon. I don't know what's behind the whole FUD about it. I haven't really gotten into it, but I've got faith in everything that everyone is doing and science, the development. A lot of time, it never works out when you go live. It never goes the way it's supposed to. That's real number one. But it takes time. I have faith in the results of what I've seen so far. I will personally say that I have not, other than the same video that everybody has seen of the one coil hovering, I haven't seen any other hovering coils, so I don't make any claims myself on that aspect, but I have full faith in the individuals who are the developers and proponents of it, and
Bernie,
we will be continuing to bring it forward.
Bernie, can I say something
Yes, sir.
about that? Okay, so I feel like there's the coils. Let's say there's the rodent coil, and then there's the star coil. Well, the star coil gives off St. Elmo's fire the way ships. Do you know St. Elmo's fire? It's like eddy current. It comes off the ship's mast. It did. Darwin actually saw it come off there. And there's actually another good video. I can't seem to comment in the thing. I'm new to this. I
The
can't
private
make a
chat, you
comment.
gotta
I'll do
switch
the
over.
private. I'll do the private chat, and then we can do it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right.
so
Hold on though, Frankie. I also got to cover this amazing development and absolutely epic video and work done with Bob HUTchinson Bob Greenyer of the Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project. He's writing a book on John Hutchinson and the Hutchinson effect, as well as oh my goodness, I forgot the other individual's name. The Swedish guy, I believe it is, who just reproduced the Hutchinson sample, or like effects on some metals samples that yes, I won't try to remember it. I will just actually play this clip where Bob Greenyer and John Hutchinson will go over it and discuss it themselves for all to hear. And this was recorded and uploaded to Bob's channel, the Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project, I believe 2 days ago. It was actually the same time that I did my last stream, I think. Anywho, it was bad timing that way. Anyways, rewatched it several times. It's absolutely groundbreaking. It's epic. The samples that are put out here, Bob brought over, I believe, from Sweden. Bob Greenyer, for those that don't know, he's based out of the UK. He's the leading academic professor and researcher, developer of LENR, which is low energy nuclear reactions, aka cold fusion, as well as EVOs, what Ken Shoulders documented and called and published the studies called EVOs, exotic vacuum objects. And this is what Bob Greenyer has tirelessly been looking under the microscopes of both John Hutchinson's samples, showing the different transmutations of the different metals, the jellification of the metal elements down into from the solid into these liquids, and then this EVO, or same transmutation cold fusion of metals, aka alchemy, of these samples. And then that Bob has looked at and attained many of John's original pieces that are filmed in John's original TV series videos of all the levitating metals and melting metals and all of those videos. Bob has gotten lots of the samples, but what Bob has brought in front of this table are the new samples from Sweden that this other experimenter has reproduced, showing that this Hutchinson transmutation effect is a completely repeatable effect, a very, very huge deal in the overall science and bringing it forward, and making sure that both John's discovery work, as well as Ken Shoulders, who was the original publisher of the EVOs of the original Hutchinson experiments. So now, enough of my ranting, going in circles. I'm going to let them talk.
And I'm a volunteer with the Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project, and I am here with Mr. Possible, John Hutchinson, and we have obviously discussed a lot of your effects.
We sure have.
It's been interesting because it hasn't really ever been replicated before. We do know that one, Stoyan Sargachev, inadvertently replicated the effect by first replication, but it happened.
This time, yeah, that seems to be the case with a lot of these odd pioneering energy things.
Magic
things that are out there and people have tried to do.
But in your case, you replicate.
Yeah, it was a lot of determination and there's a lot of when a television crew comes in. Excuse me. Fun, and other times when it all happens. It's and same with scientific, but they interpret it wrong. Colonel Alexander seems to understand what that was about. Canadian government things happen, but they didn't see it happen, but you could hear it happening. Like Donald Douglas, same thing. Did a TV show, was on the news, and had a beautiful levitation.
And that is one of the things that have been most inspirational to people that have followed your work over the years and been curious as to how they were achieved, but then not really. And so what's happened recently is your work has inspired so many people, and those people have been able to come. He has achieved what appears.
That's awesome.
And now it the kind of was the thing that your work, right? You were able to put samples in free air, and they did things like glow or jellyfy, right?
Jellification.
All right. Well, I guess that was all it was going to allow us to do of that.
This stuff doesn't. It's painful for the universe.
So the thing is that the attacks are real. The Bob Greenyer there, he leading LENR academic, and that he's documented publicly on his different Substacks that when he goes to present at the different global cold fusion conferences throughout the world each year, that there's specific U.S. officials there that try to debunk him and like attack his work, attack him, try to discredit him, and have like even publicly like almost threatened him of what he's allowed, what they don't want him to be allowed to publish, and that they're okay with data points. So it's like for everybody out there that, you know, it's like, oh my God, am I going to like, are they going to put a bullet in the back of my head just because I stumbled on some cool, crazy science that needs to come out there? It's like, no, they're not. We all can just publish the data points and look into the data points, because in the past, such great people like Ken Shoulders took like the HUTchinson data points and saw the actual science of it, the real developments, and it's everywhere and it's all over.
Bernie, I feel like the death of the Queen, and the fact that Kanye is just blurting out the 432 change, that they've already fallen.
Yeah,
how does a peon like me understand that?
You remember the first Science of Sound, episode? And
I love it, dude. That was a great episode.
Or like I think it might have been the second or the third, but with the Kanye talking about the 888s, it was Norb's World Channel that I had gotten those clips from.
Yeah, it was
which
this one for
he's been
sure.
taken down completely, and he actually goes in depth. Oh, nice, you got that up. Okay, yeah, dope.
Yeah, dude, this is the best thing ever, dude. You want me to play it?
Yeah.
It is really good, dude. It's really good. And
If you can
the fact that we're learning about this, dude, the fact that we're realizing that these coils are just super inefficient. The coil in your refrigerator, in your microwave, in the computer that you're messing with right now, it's designed to use 10 times too much power. This is a fact. The fact that some peon like me, who barely understands electronics, knows this. It means that they've fallen, dude. They would have killed Kanye for saying this. He should already be dead. Just like John Lennon, by the way.
Did.
John Lennon knew this.
They pretty much killed him. He can't even use, like, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever, a month ago. Like,
yeah, it's too late though. He already planted the seed. He planted the seed in all these young artists.
So,
yeah.
No, I gotta point this out. Listen to this hypocrisy. So there's two former billionaires in the last quarter that are no longer billionaires this quarter. One is Kanye West and one is scam, bankrupt, fraud. What did one do? One ripped off $8 billion worth of other people's assets, gambled them away, straight frauded everything while dining with the SEC heads and all like absolute corruption, making tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of donations to the, like, just disgusting corruption and theft and crime. And the other person, Kanye West, got all of his billions of dollars completely frozen, wiped out, zero access to, taken away, can't even make a purchase on his Apple Pay account.
Right.
All he said was like some sort of anti-Semitic. I don't know. I'm not repeating. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not saying there's anything to that, but just like, and I don't even know what he said. I haven't watched it. I don't get into that sort of stuff. But just the fact that he said some words that ended something, but he's absolutely lost everything, and then
he planted the seeds though. All these young musicians are looking at this. I don't think if they had power anymore, he would have been able to. And the attacks on him, they're falling, dude. It's super obvious to everyone now, I think.
Maybe I'm an optimist. Doesn't Zertis actually know Alex Jones? That would be dope to do a Zertis BurnEye Alex Jones.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
So, do you want to find the section in that? I think it's in the first half hour or maybe 45.
I focused on the idea that the planets are chakras and the sun is an anode. You know what I'm saying? I put it on my favorite part, and I also put it on the ominous part with alien scientists doing Sublime for all my friends that just. I was just trying to show people that you need to look at this. And this is my favorite episode for sure. I'm gonna play this. Can I send you the link and then you tell me where you want to have it? Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna start playing it.
You just play it because my computer seemed to still crash when I was trying to share stuff. So unmute it and play it because it's my own content. It won't give me a copyright strike.
Yeah, you told me to watch out what I play. I have so much stuff I want to play, but it's too bad.
Yeah, we'll do trial runs like So here's another thing is that I also, I mentioned to my dad I needed raspberry. He's got an extra raspberry. I'm getting an actual Discord server set up and getting all of this Discord going because I've Zertis unbelievable community and what they have going on in that Discord and what Discord really is and bringing it together, as well as the OdySee accounts, Rumble. I should sure to post that right now. Please, everybody watching this, I desperately need you to go and subscribe to my Rumble account. Oops, did it not?
Can you share that on the screen? Rumble is the way to go, dude. You can say whatever you want. You know?
Rumble and OdySee and Twitch. So I just posted the Rumble in the live chat link. Please subscribe to that my channel. I need to get up to 100 subscribers so then I can actually straight live. We'll also be able to live stream to Rumble once I reach 100 subscribers. The same is true for my OdySee account.
Probably Rumble won't take away 1,000 followers at a whim. You know?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing too is why it's so crucial that I've got the monetization in the YouTube channel now. Even though it's only the BurnEye one and not the Crypto Alchemist one, it's a start where I'm going to try to get any donations or money made off of that account to then be put back into the the advertisements and the premium account. First off, premium YouTube account I got to get going immediately, and then the cheapest advertising, where then it takes you into the promotional algorithm where it actually shares it with everything. So it takes you out of the shadow band one, and instead of going to 0, it then puts you up to like a 10 level, and just investing on getting this knowledge back out and everywhere. Also, I'm developing, or I've downloaded all the just audio files of, for instance, the Science of Sound podcast episode 3 that's up here, but also 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to be setting up audio only streaming podcasts, Spotify, I think SoundCloud maybe, and uploading them to that as well going forward. And then on my OdySees and my Rumbles, I will be uploading every single episode that I've got and have done and that can find. Sorry about that, Frankie. I keep muting out there just because there seems to be some reverb sometimes in your audio.
Sure. Sorry. Yeah. I keep wanting to do a GoFundMe or I do pretty trippy work. I could actually raffle something that would be like, I'm a tattoo artist. I could do a whole sleeve for I could raffle off something that costs $5,000. But it would help if I had some sort of foundation and my buddy Jimmy Butcher is working with Kanye to do, it was like a weed church. They're trying to do a church that's based where you could smoke weed legally. You know, I probably shouldn't be saying this actually. I'm going to have to cut that out. But that's the point is this should be looked at as a religion, or at least protected by religion.
Frankie, you can't cut anything out. It's live on 2 YouTube channels.
It doesn't matter. I'm telling the truth. And he is working with Kanye West to do that exact thing, which by now it wouldn't matter anyway. But yeah, sorry about that. The point is,
well, if your friend is actually, if your friend is actually friends with Kanye West, give Kanye a shout out and tell him that what has happened to him is absolutely unjustworthy and absolute bullshit, and shows the biggest discrimination compared to how does scam, bankrupt, fraud, and Kanye be the 2 people to be wiped out billions when one stole frauded $8 billion, and the other simply was a racist, said some racist, asshole, ignorant things.
Right. I think what we should do is, for the fundraising, you need to put it in the name of something.
Play the clip of the Science of Sound 3 for everybody.
Yeah, sorry.
Of the community, please.
Yes, sir. Hang on one sec.
You know, do something about it. You know, start researching stuff. You know, that's outside the mainstream science. And that's what I did with the water machine. So
mainstream science.
Yeah.
Introductory steps for some. It's like music. You like, but then further down and a lot of things. Science,
this is the best thing ever.
Into your interests on those, they might find, especially with what they're working with quantum physics and all that kind of things that make sound vibration kind of. It's all part of a big, larger scheme of things. So it's really interesting hearing everybody talk about it too. And sound vibrations to me is interesting because you never know, you know, if those can be again used on a bigger scale towards something that could be harmful.
Yeah, like water and sound go hand in hand. If you take a really powerful speaker and you put it near a cup of water, just watch what happens to the water, how it reacts. You know, it doesn't matter if it's in a glass or not, it's going to react to sound. So that's why I use signal generators to program the water with 432 hertz sine wave. And, you know, the water does react to this frequency. Frequency. You know, and Tesla knew this a long time ago. You know, energy, frequency, vibration. He says if you know those three and how to use them, that's a quote from Tesla. So it's very relevant today. He knew this over a century ago. So.
Well, yeah, though.
Bernie, let me know when you want to stop.
Frequency is it's large. You know, going as far as music is concerned, frequency is like going to a music or like a theater, having that surround sound and enjoying that experience so much more. But it's because of that frequency giving you that reasoning to enjoy it more. It's what, why, and how does it do that?
Well,
and can you control it, and can you manage it? And you know, there are certain ways. There's certain like breathing techniques, you know, with certain frequencies or music, or you know, it's different, and that's what makes it.
That's what they were saying in the video. A set of headphones is good, but also get in front of a nice big set of speakers and let your body resonate with the sound.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I mean?
It goes up and down like this, so you got to be like, you can't be right in front of the speakers. If they're a good 40 feet, you get that effect more. It's like upon the frequency. No, it's cool. It's interesting. I like that. It's nice.
Yeah, because it's everything. When you think about it,
very well put. Festival raver and ominous. I could only imagine your fellow experience with that and the PK speakers. There's nothing like dancing to the beat of your own drum.
Yeah, but you don't get the effect when you're hanging right at the front. If you just go frequencies, it hits you at a certain point. So sometimes you miss exactly the full effect unless you really get. That's why when you see the person who's doing like all the tech, he's walking around and he's got his iPad. He's walking farther away to get the sound. How because he knows that frequency is going to hit him in that sense, so he can hear exactly what he needs to tweak with. So instead of walking right in front of it.
Yeah, and that's why if you look at the back of the Roman times and the theaters that they were making, designing these theaters, that it didn't matter where you sat in the theater, you were going to get the optimum performance of the sound. So you can look at, you know, Roman history and, you know, how the church, they were designed to emanate that sound of the organs, you know, in a certain area of the church. So, you know, as long as you were in that area, you were going to get the effects. And, you know, those frequencies were healing them of illness. So, yeah.
Ken, a little bit more?
Yeah. it depends. Do you want to be more fast or slower for our audience here? What do you think?
Frankie, I'm just stepping outside to check
A
the
bit of
sound
English,
on
okay.
my phone,
I think
YouTube, and Twitch. Keep this
Hey,
playing, please, for another 5 minutes.
Hey,
I'll
hang
be
on, hang on.
watching. I just want to see what it's doing live.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
Leave it playing exactly how you had it, my friend.
Yeah, it's good, dude. It's about to get really good. I got
yeah,
too early.
Exactly. It's a great part. I just want to keep it going exactly how you had it, and then I'm just going to be listening and
No worries.
on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and then be right back.
Perfect. Hey, if you need me to do anything, will you text me? Text me so I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we're good. You're doing great.
Perfect. Thanks. Okay.
Hang on. Yeah. Go. That's gold. Gold in the name of science. Bullshit in his name's ominous. Fun.
Good news indeed. All right, so we will share some Norb's World talking about the solfeggio frequencies.
Over the solfeggio frequency life chart that you guys, I put it together for myself when I was doing the solfeggio frequencies and starting to connect dots like, oh, this color and this temperature and this luminary and this chakra and this just lines up with everything. And this chart started with me just putting the frequencies in there and lining them up with the chakras and then colors. And then the rest just kind of happened on its own. So I'm going to go through this with you guys, and I want you guys to use this in your lives. You'd be surprised how much of your life or life events or events. So just start with the colors. RGB turns. RGB is red, green, and blue. RGB is bottom, middle, and top. Red shift, blue shift also happens here because as you see in this gradients, we're gradiating from gradienting. There's a gradient from red to the cycles over, and there is no transitionary colors between the red and the blue chart. And then also the solfeggio frequencies themselves. These are the 7 main
much better, Mr. Roy.
EXO. I call them EXO solfeggios. They're outside the system, but they're still in 7045. And I'm not sure if that would be 285 up here, 7 up to get transitionary. But the red shift, blue shift also comes from this as well. RGB is also what we cover in Norb theory. That goes over just life in general. Everything comes from this overlap. And then the center is absolute overlap. The 3.33, 6.66, 9.99, 369, 963, 639, 693, all the combinations stem from as well. Then we move into the chakras. And as you can see, we cover all the chakras here. And I cover the chakras with a different solfeggio frequency piece for each one. And they're all on my channel, and they're all in the solfeggio frequencies playlist that I'll link to in the description. Beside this, we go through the notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do would be, this goes from A to G, but it only touches on the sharps and flats on the D. Find that very interesting too. Beside that, we have all the frequencies themselves, the actual solfeggio frequencies. Again, minus the 174 and 285, the two EXO frequencies that are either below it, above it, or one above, one below. What I find interesting is the solfeggio frequencies are easy to learn and memorize by any keypad. The 1 will start on your bottom left or top left and go through to 9, and then there's a 0. So for the solfeggio frequencies, let's assume you're using your keypad on your keyboard. The 1 is on the bottom left. On your keyboard, you can't go down any further, so you go back up 1. 2 would be 2, and go to the top, 8, going downwards, having to go back to the top because there's no more letter or numbers below that, right? So 2 would be 285, 3 would be 396, 4 going downwards, 4, 1, back to the top 7, so 4, 1, 5, 2, 3. Then the last 3, 7, 8, 5, 2, 9, 6, 3. If you're using a keypad with the number 1 on the top left spot, you just do this in reverse, go upwards. This is where I start to look at frequencies and numbers and sound and matrix code, zeros and ones flying downward. This is literally all of it in your keypad in the numbers pulls these frequencies. I think it's kind of interesting to tell any numerical keypads this way. And if you were to dial your phone, and the tones you hear from this are also very interesting. Something else I want you guys to type in with your phone is 124875. It's a reflection of itself, and it's Tesla math. It's the core of Tesla math. 124875. Not in there. 875. Then we move into the elements. At the very earth, water, fire, air, sound, and ether, light, and thought. Moving to the luminaries, I wanted to do both the heliocentric and the geocentric. And the geocentric is literally me. It's simply me doing theory model, Norb theory model, and look at the way it's set up and reflect on life as well through this model. And it makes a lot more sense on this model overall, this whole chart, even from colors to luminaries to everything. You'll also notice we have up top, which isn't even included in the heliocentric. And we have Earth, a planet, because all of the stuff is above the Earth and below the Earth. Next, we move into mantras and mudras. Now, you guys all know the Boule have a ritual they do for Saturn. It's a lot of Saturn worship up in this, and there's the symbology with the circle with your thumb and index finger, right? And the same happens in Sun and Mudra. Now, I'm going to say this, which might be a little, I'm not going to say shocking, but disheartening for you guys. Nothing about this is really evil. Nothing about any of this is evil. It's all simply been hijacked and
No, that's very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Absolutely.
You know what's really cool? If I should say one thing, you know when you when you used to watch TV, you get the snow, like the scrambled stations of the white, like all the snow. Apparently, that's the universe, from Bang. It's all based on sound. So the clouds, that vibe. There's only that you need in order to severely harm somebody or even kill them. It's really quite wild to think that kind of ability, and you can use it. When we control you being space, talk space something heavier, that center of gravity, and being able to travel because of that. It's like marbles on a sheet. Like you have like marbles on a sheet, and then you're pulling it, but the marbles have that weight on the sheet. Well, that's pretty much the effect. And if you can control that effect, you can travel with that. Hence, the Bob Lazar kind of conspiracies. But that frequency and sound, that's an interesting thing. Sorry, back to you.
No, don't apologize at all. I appreciate it. And you brought up a good point about how sound can harm and that it can also heal. And that's in the second part about solfeggios. And former military, done lots of experiments with sound and frequency and coils, Richard Lambert. And he was testing the solfeggio frequencies through these vortex Roden-style coil, and that he said it's very, very risky because the healing ones, but there's also these harmful ones, and that when they put a solfeggio through the coil, it actually themselves in the garage that were around it, all three eyes. So it's a science that's been classified for, quote, national security reasons, but there's just so much more to it.
I think it's part of the Tesla files that were all seized after he passed away. I think Tesla was onto this stuff for quite some time. But the problem with Tesla, he got stuff down. He didn't write any books.
Frankie, do you want to pause it, brother?
A lot of the secret stuff has been gobbled up by the Secret Service or the government.
Yeah, dude. There's a Tesla autographed book for $3,000.
That's the thing, and thank God.
Whoa.
For instance, I forget who it was that ended up buying Sir Isaac Newton's alchemy papers and then publishing them online so that they've begun to be translated. I really got to take
What are they
time.
called?
There's such going on constantly. There's literally, it's like a million word, word alchemical science ratings of Isaac Newton, where he connects the metal alchemies with light, sound, and color. Speaking of alchemy, we've got Ben joining us, brother. How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, you're muted.
Hola.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Unmuted my mic.
Yeah, no,
And
I
my God,
unmuted.
man, I have a list of Tesla's accomplishments, a lot of things that people don't know about what this man truly achieved, what he built, what he was capable of. It is just mind-bogglingly freaking astounding. The guy is, aside from Fluff, there's nobody else on the face of the planet who's made a bigger contribution to humanity. Tesla, I mean, he's a powerhouse, man.
Absolutely.
Always the audio.
Yeah, it's still decent though. And another one, and a great friend and confidant and fellow science legend at the time, Walter Russell, is another super suppressed but very influential to understanding the alchemy, the cold fusion, and the geometric structure of matter and elements. This right here is his the octave arc periodic table scale of element power creation. And then this, of course, is Walter Russell's vortex-based periodic table of octave scale elements. This makes a whole lot more sense than the jumbled crumble that we try to teach as this being the layout of matter, where it actually fits into these sort of structures.
They correlated. I just downloaded that arch thing and spent like 45 minutes staring at it yesterday.
Yeah, there's actually like there's about 5 of these arches actually, where he breaks down the elements. Each one of these numbers there, that's an atomic mass, and how the elements go in these octaves back and forth. For those that haven't looked into or heard of Walter Russell's periodic tables and works, he was at the same time era as Nikola Tesla, and I think it was Westinghouse that still has his patents, and that there's also, just like there's like the Tesla, what's the foundation that has like Tesla's work or tries to like upkeep it or whatever. I forget exactly what it's called. There's also the Walter Russell Foundation one, and it's documented that Walter Russell was getting all sorts of different transmutations of elements in vacuum tubes right at the end of the 1800s and into the early 1900s. And then the stories of Tesla, his UFO craft, his car that ran forever off of type of recontinuing cold fusion, and also his ionosphere beam weapon proposal that supposedly got broken down and sent to the 5 different major powers, I believe, before or during World War II or something like that. I forget what it was, but all sorts of just so suppressed, higher dimensional technology and developments that it's been around forever and throughout the ages. In every epoch or so often, there seems to be, it comes back in these cycles, right? And that's then more and more reproduce it. Just like there were the Vihaman in the Vedas and the Eastern cultures, the alchemists and the paintings, the documents throughout Europe in the 1500s, 1400s, all the coins with the UFOs, the different, all sorts of anomalies, the star forts, the sacred geometry everywhere, the different hominids, the different types of beings and skulls and sizes and resets that have happened. And
Sorry.
So Ben, you were just showing there that what Tesla, what's that one called? The patent, that machine. Oh,
I don't remember what it was, but it was one of the that energy had a
Yeah,
favorable arc at a
it will come back to me. But yeah, it's the exact same physics of the Ankh and the sacred Egyptian Ankh, right? It's Antiquitech being rediscovered through the geometric patterns of the flow of electromagnetic and plasma energy throughout geometry and the universal code. Just like this knowledge throughout the Pythagorean and the Plato occult secret schools or mystery schools, the actual importance of the Platonic solids and what they really represent, the dimensional geometries. They are the shape, structure, base work of all matter and energy points. The ancients knew this, and it's all part of this higher dimensional universal language coding. It's essentially a God code. If there is a simulation dimension to our existence, this is the language that this universal code structure runs on, just like numbers are a part of it. The 369, the vortex-based mathematics, and all of that, I've deciphered through the alchemical symbols. Here we go. The three principles in the top left corner here. You've got sulfur, you've got salt, and you've got mercury. And it represents the basic. Sorry, Frankie, you had some static there. I had to mute you out. It represents the basic electrolysis cold fusion reaction, the making of monoatomics, or the Baghdad battery, or what Keshi calls his cup of life, the GANs. But it's actually higher dimensional cold fusion equations and structuring. The salt we will start with being the electrolysis jar, the jar of salt water. There's always a line down the middle of it separating it. That is the easy zone, the exclusion zone that forms in this reaction, separating the negative and the positive ions within this reaction. The sulfur, that is your cathode going up. No. Yes. Cathode going. No. Sorry. Sulfur. Yeah, no, I'm right. Jeez. Sorry. A little bit tired here. Sulfur cathode going up. It is gas and it is plasma going up off the cathode side reaction. It is your negative current. And then mercury is the positive red current eating away and breaking down the liquid solid deposit into the salt water jar, the reaction of it, the breaking down of it. So that right there is basic higher, the symbols, each symbol represents so much. And to understand it a bit more, we're going to go over to the four elements: fire, air, water, earth. Well, we start with fire. Fire is actually plasma, the fourth state of matter, the higher dimensional. And the ancients understood this, and you see it as a single triangle all the way up. It's a completely free triangle upwards on the sulfuric reaction. The third state, then air, your gas, it's also free moving, but it's not ionized. It's not in the plasma state, but it's still that single atom free gas state. And then you move over to the mercury, the dense side, the water, the liquid, the two-dimensional matter, down into the reaction, or the earth, the solid matter breaking down in that mercurial or cathode side reaction.
Bernie.
And Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Which do you consider just fourth dimensional? Just
Plasma
the
state.
plasma?
Plasma. And so
Okay. Sorry to interrupt
monoatomic
you.
elements are plasma state. That's the big thing there. Once you ionize or activate a monoatomic like gold or silver or any of them, bismuth, mercury, whatnot, it's going to go just like the noble gases are when they're ionized, for instance, which creates the auras or the neon in the plasma in your tubes, the spark gap reactions, the arc, that plasma energy state, but you have solid mass of the monoatomic material, that actual element. So when you collect all of that pure white powder, you have the physical mass of this essentially quantum matter, this plasma state matter, that then it just takes a small amount of energy in the right conditions to activate it into these ionized fourth higher state reactions and energies out of it. And all right, so that's the four elements, and then we say, what's the fifth element?
Are you saying it?
Boop, I gotta mute you out because this is crucial to the rest of this lesson. The plus elements. So you had the four elements. That's the four states of matter. The four element states of matter plus the elements. So it's plus the periodic table of elements. So it's all of these elements in the four states of matter. And once you start to understand this, and that the ancients had this alchemical pictographic language for each element, plus all of these there's so much, all of these descriptions below each one of these symbols. All right, when they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, a symbol has so many meanings. Literally, these alchemical geometry symbols are highly encoded pictographic languages, and it goes back into the runic. It goes back into the so-called not geoglyphs, but the other ones that are found everywhere, the ancient native writings, indigenous, goes petroglyphs. Thank you. But all of them that have the shapes, it's actually, you look into it, it's all alchemical language, and that the ancient alchemical pictographic written language, this is the oldest recorded written languages throughout Proto-Sanskrit, throughout Babylon but also through Egypt, but before those times. And what appears also from if they're authentic, which I believe they are, the Crespi collections, the different golden tablets everywhere, I also see these same original alchemical symbol language in them, meaning they would have been pre 10,000-12,000 year cataclysm, where essentially the same alchemical language was before the last great reset. Well, it's Noah's flood, the time of Enoch. It was the time of the demigods, and what we call Atlantean civilization, well, that was the time of the demigods. That was the time of giants, where all humans probably were giants. It was a completely different epoch when there were these giant, so even they say dinosaurs were so long ago, but then we have all these tales of dragons which absolutely match the description of the fossil records of dinosaurs, and then we have the active cryptids of such things. Oh, sorry, I guess I should drop this. Maybe go to this guy for a little bit for some context when talking about cryptids and badlands. But like the Loch Ness Monster, all of these different things that used to exist. But what we are told is that the megafauna mammals, like the mammoths the saber-toothed tigers, these giant sloths, these giant beavers, all these giant animals did live right prior to the end of the last ice age, aka the Younger Dryas event, where Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, I believe, do absolutely epic discovery work proving that there was a catastrophe, most likely comet impacts, that melted the ice sheets, causing global oceans to rise in 400 feet. Maybe it was something else. Robert Duvall believes solar energy impacts. There could be flares. It could be a combination of each. It could also be super volcanoes. It could be all of them. There's all sorts of insane catastrophes, or it could have been man-made, something else. Who knows? Combination of all of it, but that we've probably been wiped out several times. But when you get back into like all of the religious texts talking about giants in those days, the giant bones found under the mounds, the stories of them everywhere, well, that's the same time frame as these megafauna, aka the mastodons, the mammoths, the saber-tooths. Well, that's also could be where the stories of dragons, and that maybe these, when we were giants, we were also with dinosaur dragons. Who knows? It's probably all.
I've got to throw in, man. I've got to throw in. You know, they're digging stuff up in the Antarctic where they're finding, you know what I mean, woolly mammoths and saber-tooths who have literally still have undigested food in their stomachs, and it's proving to be like that. This was
in Antarctica. Is that Antarctica or Siberia? Because I thought it was only like fossilized life forms they've now found in Antarctica, but it's definitely Russian Siberia. I've heard of that, and that's also aka the exact area on the map that is labeled Tartaria. Everybody that was also had massive amounts of castles, infrastructure, and buildings throughout that time, and that the Rosicrucian order states that their alchemical ways came from the original Tartar time period. Shout out to my brother Olaf Sturker, who does an excellent. Oh, we got porn bot attack. Time to block. It's probably already taken care of. Block them.
Pretty much admittedly, the actual physical son of Lucifer, and this is where you even get isolated tribes who have the story of the son of a divine being and a demigod that was chosen to carry out the knowledge of the Most High down to man. And it's thought that gives us all of this alchemical knowledge. And of course, if you know anything about Atlantis, of course, you start getting into pyramids. And I can tell you that, the highest of alchemy is actually taken out of measurements of the Great Pyramid itself. When you get into the grail of alchemy, you get it to the pyramid measurement. But what I wanted to correlate with you talking about dragons and the flood is through this supposed Sophic doctrine, where you learn about the demiurge or whatever that the Jewish people were supposedly hiding, and that the Roman Empire got their hands on when they got to Carthage. Because remember, Rome didn't really start majorly whipping ass until after they went to Carthage. And they didn't want to change any of these books and start really fiddling with, biblical doctrine until after they got to Carthage. And that's when he took the Book of Enoch out and all of that stuff. And it was supposed to be this dragon called Yaldabaoth. I don't know if you know about Yaldabaoth yet, but that was supposedly the one that was responsible for that whole flood.
Right, and like there's just so many different evidences and like human traumas, and then like ancient cultures all documenting it everywhere, and then it also being kept alive in the esoteric communities and wisdom teaching communities through self-initiates throughout the ages, pure of heart, that continue the story on. And then it's like they're attacked, they're debunked. It's divide and conquer as always, but you can find and resonate with your own truth, your own higher spirit and soul always. And that is key. Before I forget, though, I have to quickly share and go on to one more absolutely crucial project that we are working on that is coming soon, and that is with the HUTchinsons, Nancy HUTchinson and John HUTchinson, and the crystal cell battery builds for everybody. And that the next episode with the HUTchinsons, I've been emailing back and forth, talking on the phone with both John, Nancy, as well as Bob Greenyer, writing the book on John and the HUTchinson effect that we showed earlier in the stream. But the next stream specifically with the HUTchinsons is all and only devoted to the crystal battery build and development, because this truly is so crucial. Because look at how far it's come. This right here, this is a different type. This is an old John HUTchinson video, or about, I think, a decade and a half, maybe 2 decade old, different type of crystal battery, solid state battery cell, where it indefinitely and continuously is powering this incandescent light bulb, a never-ending flashlight. Pretty good, especially for the amount wattage being used in that design of light bulb compared to an LED, and the amount of energy that you're losing and the friction and the heat loss in this, and for it to continuously run. But in this episode, that the original John HUTchinson, Nancy HUTchinson interview that I did with myself and Zertis and Charlie C., John and Nancy go over and state that the materials that to cost to build this permanent state, solid state battery cell at the time was $15,000 in special metals and materials. That's quite the price for out of reach for average anybody, the 99% of people, especially for research and development. But then as opposed to that, there's like the $10 build of the crystal out of the tartar, the salt crystal batteries, the what page? Hold on, sorry. Cream of tartar. There we go. It came back to me. The cream of tartar, the Rochelle salts battery build that we are going to. Here we go. I've got the general one up. I should be sharing. Oh God, I didn't have it sharing the whole time, so you guys had no idea what I was talking about. Here we go.
Bernie, can you speculate about Tartaria?
Yeah, no, just hold it for 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. So what we have up here on the right that has like that nail coming out, a little bit of copper pipe on the bottom, what looks like aluminum or steel on the top, the black cord coming out or attached to the nail. That's the negative. The red cord attached to the outer copper ring. That's the positive. And the Rochelle salts, cream of tartar crystal mixture in the middle. And that is connecting and powering this little DC electric magnetic motor. And that this was just the very first test. He has this, I think it was been running about 8 years, maybe even 10 years now, straight, non-stop. Just one of these things keeps this thing running non-stop since it's been built and put to use. And see, here we go. Boom, it's running. And that laser saber, the channel a guy that built this, originally did these videos 8-10 years ago. He, at the time, I remember he actually ran live stream like for 2 years straight, the first 2 years. And back 10-12 years ago when this was done, or 8-12 years ago, that much data nonstop running to it, like that was big. And I don't even know if those streams got saved permanently or if it just kept running. But he proved that they never ever cut out, there was no interference. Anywho, then where we get to the 12-volt series cell of the same battery that Labor Saber did. Here we go. And this is when you have 24 of these individual crystal battery cells, and you can connect them in series. You're actually able to get a full a fan, as well as probably a LED lights. And he had this holding for over 4 years. It's all in this. I'll post the link in the live chat right now. In the original John and Nancy HUTchinson stream that we did with Zertis and Charlie C. And hopefully next weekend will be when the second crystal battery build stream with the HUTchinsons goes live. Anybody that has already built a crystal battery cell and wants to show it off, like Charlie's got one that he's been running, showing it's been putting off 1.5 volts for 1.5 years straight now since he first built it. There's a whole bunch, many more that I've been talking to that have both done it and that have also been grabbing the materials. I encourage everybody to. It's cheap. It's never-ending energy. I'm going to be doing it. I can't wait to add the monoatomic, start experimenting with the different nano materials, these potential metamaterials in with these batteries as well. And to start running each one you build, it keeps running from that point forward, so that each one you set up and connect, you're disconnecting something that you're currently either paying $3 to $5 a battery at the store for, or you're plugging in and paying to the grid for, that is most likely still a carbon burning, destructive, coal-based, oil-based electricity generation, as opposed to this never-ending free green crystal energy that will forever power your fan from that point on. You keep building them, keeps your lights on. So not only do your lights remain on forever, even if the other grid goes down, from that point forward, that one piece you're no longer having to pay for, especially as energy keeps going up. It's so crucial. I can't stress it enough. The time is now. I'm excited about it. Everybody else should be. Here's the link, and I'm going to shut up and let Ben and Frankie talk.
You know, I saw a YouTube video once. It was only up for about 18 hours before it got taken down. And it was this, just some nobody guy. He took a series of magnets about this big around, and God damn it, he took nothing but just wood that was laying around, a stroller wheel, and a rod. So he had the base, which was just a regular square base, and he had these two large donut-shaped magnets on all four corners, and on the part where the you got anyway on the stroller wheel, he had zip tied 4 of these magnets onto the stroller wheel, and he had it positioned just in the right way to where it was producing infinite magnetic displacement. And there was spools of copper wire behind the battery to collect the electromagnetic fields that were thrown off of the magnets as they went past. And he was running a vacuum off of this thing. He was generating enough current to run a Dyson, not a Dyson, a dirt devil, is a red, one of those old red dirt devils, man. And those things suck some juice. He was doing this just off of well-placed magnets.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of that, right? Like, lots that actually, and like power. I've seen a couple where they are actually able to plug in hair dryers and like an air compressor to simultaneously, just like connecting their device that's just running self on it and to a power bar, and then they keep adding things to the power bar, and they all start running and keep running. And it's like there's so many of these devices out there that have been suppressed but have been developed, and that people have they've been building them, they've been sharing them with their local communities, and like there's more and more people doing it. I'm gonna start doing it. You should start doing it. We're all doing it with the batteries. The batteries are a crucial part to it, because as these other over efficiency devices and like engines, systems get developed, then we're going to be able to transition bigger things like the appliances of the homes and the heating systems of the homes and whatnot into these sort of end goals of self-sufficiency all the way. And shout out to Kiwi MacArthur, living off of solar, green off grid in New Zealand. Epic.
My grandfather built the Apollo. He was the foreman at Rockwell, and they also contracted him out at Rocketdyne. And I remember my mother telling me this story about how he got this huge scar on his chin from having this kind of magnetic displacement gyro that he was building in his basement. And the thing ended up gaining so much momentum that it the metal, whatever he had used to construct the thing, couldn't handle the stress of, you know what I mean, and that magnet flew off, hit him right in the face, left a nice scar, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, my grandfather was doing this in his basement at one point, I guess. I don't know, I never really got a chance to know him.
That's tragic. That sucks. So, my own grandfather on my dad's side, amazing man. I was blessed to get to know him to the age of 101. We had the exact same birthday. I was born on my Russian grandfather's birthday, Doukhobor. The Doukhobors actually have a very interesting history. We come from the Caucasus area, right, labeled on the border map of Tartaria, in like the Georgian region sort of area. There's actually like this capital area called Tartaria, that I guess my family was from, and there was this time called the Burning of the Arms, where all the Doukhobors refused to pick up weapons and fight for the Bolsheviks against the monarchy. And my grandfather and my uncle showed me at one point, like when all of the ancestry stuff was first coming online, a good 20 years ago now or something. But like my great grandfather was one of the village leaders that got dragged to death behind a horse by the Bolsheviks for burning. They burnt all the weapons that the Bolsheviks gave them. That was another thing that made the Bolsheviks so angry, is that they destroyed an entire huge armory worth of weapons, refusing to fight against the monarchs. Anywho, fun fact. And
all
it's July
love and war.
July 17th is actually a very historical day in the history of Russia. The last most MH17 false flag happened on that. Also, another crash that killed. Also revolutions on that day. My grandfather. The sad part, though, he was 101. He was still in great health, great mental, cognitive things. I was just starting. It was only a couple years ago, 4 years ago now, that he passed. And it was like a week before our birthday. And he was admitted to a hospital for some stomach pain. And they gave him fentanyl for the pain and overdosed my grandfather and killed him. And it was like I was planning on going and visit him and like finally ask him about like what does he know of this Tartar, the Tartars, and like being brought over because like my dad's first language was Russian, even though he was born in Canada. My grandparents were brought over as very young children. Oh, the last part of the Doukhobors. Tolstoy himself wrote to the Queen, was it Victoria at the time or whatever, gave the Doukhobors full passage to the Crown land or anywhere in the Commonwealth. They don't have to fight in wars for like a couple hundred generations. I don't know if I could be drafted. They probably find a way to draft me still. Anywho, but the Tartar aspect of it, and that it's right in that area and around the last remnants of the last war of that reset times, and that they were a peaceful people. They refused to fight. All got to say. Oh, I thought I unmuted you. What the fuck? Why is it not unmuting either of you? I don't know. Like, can you guys unmute yourselves?
I'm still muted.
Oh, you guys
I
muted yourselves, so I couldn't unmute. Yeah, okay. You were both self-muted. I couldn't unmute you.
Yeah.
All right. Questions?
Bernie,
thoughts?
I think, yes. I would like to know more about the alchemical chart. I'm pretty smart, but this is the first I've learned of this. I suspect a lot of people watching. Would you be interested in doing a paid seminar or something like that? Maybe. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
actually
pay for
working on.
A lot of people would be.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm actually working. Eventually, the alchemy lessons will be in like a paid structured teaching, actual lessons sort of thing. But we're going to be doing alchemy research group streams that are public within a couple weeks here. Esoteric Gold, Jeremiah, as well as you two. Welcome to be. We're going to be covering David Hudson stuff. And some of the, I'm going to find the files of the translations. I think it's University of Michigan or Illinois that has the English translations of Sir Isaac Newton's Table of Contents. And that's the key one that I was able to get most of my deciphering from, and his 7 colored states of the metals that I've been able to reproduce. Funny that I didn't know you were going to ask about that before this stream. Before we talked about it pre-stream, Frankie, I had already, when I created this stream in the event earlier today, I wrote out the 7 colored states and what I believe the elements that match them are, and I sent it to myself, and I copied and pasted it, and it's in the description of the YouTube live chat, so everybody can go check it out afterwards. It's pretty good. If you want to continue discussing, I can bring up Bert and Ernie and show some examples of some of these states for you guys.
I would love it. Yeah, if you don't mind. The symbols, the old alchemic symbols, they look like witchcraft. You know?
They're not. No, that's right. No, they are. It's the same alchemical language. That's what you're not.
Yeah.
Or you're starting to get.
I thought so.
And yet, all highly encoded geometrical, structural information, patterns, and spells, and like geometries of energy. And that's the key part of it. And bang on with that. It's all the same language. This alchemical language of pictographic vector force structures of energy and matter.
Yep, sympathetic vibration, man. Shape
Sure.
is sound, and sound is shape. It is a beautiful thing to behold when you start fooling around with it. But as far as like schools go and lessons go, I'm an illuminated master. I offer I have over 200 personally written lessons. I have over 700 like must know, must have books when it comes to states of spiritual mastery. And if somebody is actually learning to, take alchemy to its tier, it's when you start learning about the philosopher's stone, you learn that the process of inner alchemy and the process of mastery of the chakras and the transmutation of inner energy to a state that matches a 12th dimensional vibration. So if you were to consider the universe has 11 inhabitable dimensions and two polar aspects of, the dual states of the singularity, male and female, and the law of thermodynamics that allows energy to cycle between it. If you were to imagine that energy goes through a shifting state to go from the lowest to the highest, this is actually what is achieved in the great alchemical work. And you cannot achieve one without the other. Not unless you get extremely lucky. But yeah, if anybody's interested about spiritual mastery, that's something I can definitely help you with.
Sure. Oh man, it'd be a group, because we could all raise money towards the same exact thing, and put somebody in charge of something. Put Bernie in charge of the transmutation, Put somebody else in charge of sound.
Oh, dude, I have secrets of generating wealth beyond dreams, dude. Oh my God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know all of this.
You can't talk about that on this, dude. You'll get shut down. We should do this. This should be in private. I do you see the? I can't see your face. Clearly, this picture is trippy. It's the sun is in the middle. It's funny to think of Sunday at the middle of the week, and that's how it appears to be. The Sunday's in the middle of the week, and and the chakras are not what you thought either. It seems like the sun should be at the top of your head, but isn't.
Oh my God. You just
Center of your
gave me
body.
the biggest revelation. Sorry, I had to mute you. You just cracked a crazy code there. The seventh day, the Sunday. So this is the sun cycle. It's the 7 days of the week, and Sunday is the day that the sun is most active. See, so this is the transparent, this is the moon cycle as it goes in these energies, whether it's on the top of the vector going up in energy or going down. Is it turning into less of energy or full energy? And that boom, on the Sunday is when you have the full energy of the sun. Just like for the moon, you have the full energy of silver when the moon is full. Bingo.
I want you to go to the Royal Chemistry Society website real quick, and I think it's gadolinium.
Can you do it on your computer, and I'll just share your. Can you share screen and do it? I'm having technical difficulty.
This happens to be one of the most. It is the most magnetic element that there is, and it is interesting. If you you have to consider that the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, okay? Let's break that down. Teotihuacan, Tahuti-Tihuacan, Tahuti, that's Thoth, okay? He gave us alchemy. You break down that and you write down what these pyramids are trying to show you. And it tries to show you an 8-day week instead of a 7-day week. And when you do some of these, decoding, when you start using alchemy and, strings of pi, strings of golden ratio, using some of the most ancient ciphers, word ciphers and number ciphers known to mankind, you're going to start getting correlations between pyramids, alchemy, and stuff like this. And one of the images that you get, I'll pull it up, with the most magnetic element that there is that actually matches to the latitude and longitude of Giza. It shows you an image of the pyramid and 8 spheres around it, which is also the sections that the Great Pyramid splits up into when it's a clock. If you look at the pyramid from above, it's split into 8s, not 7s. And it's trying to give you a clock and a time scale.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's the grand clock. Like all of the sites, they're all astrologically aligned, showing the grand celestial time cycle and reset timeline from golden age down the Kali Yuga, right? Like the ascending to the higher golden age and collapsing down into the dark age. And now we're just getting back into moving into a copper or silver age. But there's always those that can, if you existed in the golden age, you can simultaneously exist throughout all ages, because that's what golden age is. That's why they were a time of demigods and gods, because they were there, and they still exist somewhere, physically and energetically. And who knows? It's documented. It's there. It's just for us to see.
Also, when you're working with alchemy, I hate to say it, you must. It's an absolute must. You must work with the Royal Society of Chemistry's alchemical table and study the images and what they say for the esoteric meanings of those images. They chose those things very, very carefully to clue you in on certain things. I had to throw that in there. You have to.
By the way, on the equinox, the night and day are the same.
Site, share it so we can bring it up. I really do want to see it.
Yeah. Let me show my screen. Give me a second here. It is the Royal Society of Chemistry. And if you plan on accomplishing any, meaningful alchemical work in any philosophical manner, if you're not using this, you're a dummy. I'm sorry, but no, you should be spending hours upon hours studying these and absorbing them, absorbing their correlations, absorbing what these symbols mean. Aluminum here, for instance, like look at what where is it? Just a second. Antimony. Here we go. What do you think antimony is here is trying to tell you about the left eye? Rubidium. You'll find that these elements, what their uses are. I will hold on a second. Let me find it. Here we go. I'm gonna drop a nugget of information on you guys here. Niobium. If you look at the symbol for niobium here, if you're trying to accomplish any great alchemical work, you're going to hear about the starry child, the silvery starry child. And I'm going to tell you that through sympathetic vibration, that when you are doing your works with silver elements, one of the ways that the ancient, and how you can figure out, what time of day or when you should be working with certain specific elements for philosophical alchemical work, is you do what the Egyptians used to do. They would put these elements out there, and they would stand next to them all day long, and during a certain time of day, that element would start to put off a very potent smell. And that's when you would know when it's stellar alignment, you know what I mean, its position in the astrological chart, you would know what time of day or what planet that element would respond to. But I'm going to say that this element niobium here, and specifically the image that they chose for it, is the very first step in creating a philosopher's stone, and that you will get this pattern out of it. So this is why I'm saying, if you're going to do meaningful alchemical work, you need to work with these people's systems. There's no way around it. They very carefully put everything on here for a big reason.
That's outstanding.
I'm trying to find that damn damn element that shows the freaking pyramid. Where is the thing? I swear I've gone through all of these.
I know how it goes. It's like you've looked at it a million times until you're live, and then you can never find it, and it's always right in front, but it's never there
Here we go. Rubidium, the Rosicrucian rose right here. This should tell you something about achieving true illumination. Illumination is gained when you move both of your heart chakras into the third eye, the space between your pituitary and pineal gland, and you essentially create a holy trinity. And it's at that moment that you end up, like basically matching a frequency with the Most High. And this is where you get like the, all the paintings of the saints with like a golden aura around their heads and a golden halo. This is achieved when you can merge your third eye with both of your heart chakras in the space between your pineal and pituitary gland. And it is the unfolding of this rose. So rubidium 45 with a weight of 102.906 should tell you something about that inner alchemical work. Let's see, maybe it's here on the damn lower table. Oh no, yes, it's not galladinium. Also, I do like numerology decoding of your name, your numerology, and your alchemical meaning.
I was about to say.
There's huge power in that, and it's one I've kind of neglected to get deep into, and those would be excellent lessons to bring forward.
I mean, I'm still a beginner, man. I'm still a raw noob at it, but I can tell you that I'm learning from the most venerated fucking master.
Right? Well, that's the thing. A true alchemist's work is never done. The true enemy of any being searching for knowledge is time. Like the more you learn, the more you know that you know nothing. We're all in this together, figuring it out and learning, and that we are all here because everybody here is an adept self-initiate that is here because their journey is all parallel in resonating with this material and this purpose.
This one right here, lanthanum. This is a really important one to understand about the manifestation from the third eye, which would be number 5-6 in the ancient cipher, if you put in lights, camera, action, or operating system, or, you know, words that you would use for, you know, manifestation through, you know, the, you know, like one of the Hermetic principles that, you know, the universe is mental and everything is of the mind, you're going to get Lanthana out of it. This is an element that is really closely associated with that, and it is 57, not 56, but there's weird ways that you can add and subtract 1 because of the decimal placement in pi. When you're trying to calculate these things and you're using pi and golden ratios to figure it out, you know, you have to use the infinite math to figure out, you know, the mysteries of the infinite. So, you know, sometimes you have to add and subtract when cobalt. This is the element that I was talking about that was associated with the demiurge, the Yaldabaoth. And you'll see the goblin in the center, standing over the sphere of the earth with 2 dragons on either side. You know, that's obviously really significant in itself. Where the hell is this damn thing, man? I swear to God, I've been through all of these. It's help me find it, man. It's a purple freaking pyramid with 8 spheres around it. It may be element 60. No, it's not. It's not 61. It shouldn't be in the high radioactive element down here.
82 lead PB. Purple. There you go. That the one?
No, it's a purple pyramid with 8 spheres around the pyramid. And you know, there it is, neodymium, number 60. I'm such an idiot. I knew it had something to do with the pyramid coordinates.
Most magnetic, neodymium, definitely.
Yes, and you know, if you type in 8 days a week into the ancient language cipher, it's going to give you the numbers to find this element. And it shows you right here, the pyramid clock with the 8 spheres around it. And the ancient civilizations, especially in the Middle East, they did not go off of a solar calendar. They went off of a lunar calendar. There was no month with 31 days. There's no month with 28 days. And sunrise started when the moon, I mean, their days, their clock, their calendar started when the moon came out. It's not when the sun rose. It was when the moon showed itself and the sun went down. So when you're working with these alchemical works, you're going to find out that there's a system that, and I have actually the sets of geometries that will unlock this in your brain, so you can actually see these color spectrums with your own eyes. It's not a fantasy. Like, you'll be able to literally see these with your own eyes, where you can see the minute that the sun rises, there is a cycle. Every 2 hours, there's a number of cycles, and it complements ether, air, water, fire, you know, all of them. And you can see that each one of them has a different visible color spectrum that you can pick up with your own eyes. You have to use Tattva symbols to unlock that in your consciousness. And you'll see that when you're doing your alchemical work, you should be working with air elements in the air cycle. You should be, you know, you should be doing your, you know what I mean, when you're doing your, you know, when you're smelting them and mixing them and getting these elements to be volatile and mixed together, you should be doing it in a fire cycle. You should be letting it cool in the earth cycle and the solidification cycle. There's so many esoteric and, you know, very highly spiritual, you know, interplays with alchemy. It's staggering how much there is.
Hey,
knowledge.
If someone is into this, what's the quickest way to learn about what you're saying?
Say again?
What's the quickest way to learn about what you're saying? If I were a layman just stumbling on this for the first time ever,
self-initiation and reading up on Rex research is a good spot. all sorts of ancient wisdom books and open source esoteric papers, alchemical writings online, and
I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm going to be continuing to do and what we're doing right now.
This is neodymium. I dissolved neodymium because it's a magnet. Do you think this is stupid? I wasn't sure. This is when I first got into this. I decided to dissolve. I basically looked into electroputty. This is before I saw Bernie. I was seeing oils back then, and I didn't know about. Yeah, this is vinegar, and I dissolved neodymium magnets into vinegar, just like you would electroputty. Because I thought I could make a magnet out of any object. I was like, I know it's probably stupid, but I still had this stuff.
No, it's cool.
Airtight sealed. I have a lot of it. I dissolved at least 3 or 4 of them, in it. And I was thinking, fuck, this is the most magnetic rare earth shit ever, right? I mean, I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. Learn about this alchemical process, especially as it relates to you. Start with you, okay? Let's go on the periodic table here and find out which element is all about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you share again? Ben, please.
I'm trying. Yeah. I mean, is it sharing? It should be sharing. Oh, okay. I forgot to click this thing. Okay. Sorry, I'm stupid.
I have another mic if it helps with the audio.
No, we're doing good. It's going good.
Okay.
Switch over, you fuck you son of a bitch. This computer's from 2012 because every time I get a computer, seriously destroyed the hard drive. It's so hot that
you're doing good. Nailing it.
All right. So help me find the element that here it is. Uranium. Hey, there it is. The male symbol pointing upward. Let's break this down. What happens to uranium? What states does it go through? What is the very last state that uranium
plasma
ends up in?
Plasma?
Lead. The alchemical work is transmuting lead to gold, isn't it?
Yes.
God, or if you think of the, a polar aspect of the universe has to have a negative pole and a positive pole for it to circulate energy and for the rule of thermodynamics to have a constant energy, a constant cycle of destruction and creation and a energetic oscillative pendulum from back and forth of energy. For all of this to work, you need a negative pole and a positive pole, right? If you're going to think about, the Holy of Holies, the Ark of the Covenant, all this shit was gold plated, and you think about the gold being only holding a positive ionic charge and being related to the sun, you think of God as the sun aspect, as above, so below. You see nothing but what? Suns and black holes. That's the entire of fucking creation that you see, isn't it? That's what breaks down and destroys everything. So if you want to make yourself into a pure positive ion state through some sort of spiritual ascension, or if you want to do the great alchemical work, you're going to have to learn, how do I produce only pure positive ionic elemental states? And you are going to be studying this guy in a big way, because uranium is radioactive, isn't it? So it would definitely start to relate to higher dimensional states that are beyond matter. This will destroy your physical body. It will destroy your DNA structure. It's radioactive. So these are going to be the elements that are associated with higher dimensional states. And uranium goes through I think it's 8 or 9 different states or something like that before it gets to lead. There's also something incredible here.
Is it because what's the hardness level of it? Is it the melting point? super high like copper?
You know, I couldn't tell you. I'm a super beginner at alchemy.
12,
I can tell you,
12.
like, dude,
You don't sound like a beginner, man.
Oh no, right
I
now,
think everybody here is an adept in their own field. And please, everybody, never call yourselves stupid, idiots, or underestimate yourselves. That is the number one failing of the law of projection, and believing in yourself and knowing that you are the best that you can be, that you can achieve anything, that anything is possible, and together we are all going to be there and do it. We are
Here we
doing
go.
it.
Damn right.
This is gonna blow your fucking minds, guys. RE. Remember, ancient Egypt associates Ra's name with the vowel intonation of Re. Right? Ra wasn't Ra, it was Re, the sun god, the rays of light. At the speed of light, which just happens to be 186,000 miles per second, at the Re here at 186. At the speed of light, you would circulate the Earth about 7.5 times. Well, what does that mean? That number here is number of protons or electrons, whatever the hell it is 75. And this goes way deeper than just these three things on the surface. If you start bringing pi and golden ratios into this, you're going to start finding distances between the Earth and the Sun, and you're just going to start getting numbers coming out. Also, this has the highest boiling point of any element on the entire scale, any element that we know of, at 5,590 Celsius, 10,000 Fahrenheit. But when you start breaking this down with the elemental cipher, and the mathematical cipher, you're going to start to see that it comes up with 299 and 300, which also has to do with aspects of the speed of light and shit like that. And it's incredible. So this is what I mean by working with the Royal Society of Chemistry periodic table and going and reading history, uses and practices. And for most of the time, you're going to want to go down here to oxidization and isotopes, and always look for its most abundant percentage. So
You are no beginner. This is highly advanced alchemy that you are teaching right here, and I am greatly appreciating it. I know I will be rewatching this probably 3 times in 24 hours and like 10 times within a month. That's what I always do when great knowledge is dropped on my streams. That's what all of you should do. And please do it on the BurnEye channel, which is now monetized, so that I don't think I'll ever make anything off of it. But my goal is anything that's donated in YouTube or that I make off of YouTube, I'm going to put back into just YouTube advertising, as well as getting the YouTube premium account so the stupid commercials don't pop up anymore. But that it increases sharing this exposure, and the algorithms takes this content from being suppressed algorithms to actually being multiplied, exposed algorithms, where these videos will show up in everybody's feeds, and that's what we need. So anybody that can, super chats are now live on the BurnEye streams that are going on. Also, though, I respect watching on Crypto Alchemist, no ads, and just chilling. And lastly, I'm desperately hoping and praying to raise between $100-200 Canadian. Hopefully it's done by the end of this stream, but I don't think we've gotten any donations today from our broke ass. So hopefully by Monday, for Cyber Monday. But my dad has already upstairs went and found a laptop that's perfect for editing the videos and upgrading the streaming. So that is the goal. Anyone who is able to afford, I know it is tight times right now. But yeah, if you want to help make these streams better, I'm trying to fundraise to get a better computer so I can start editing videos. Also, I've already started accumulating all of my different podcasts, both in video form, to start editing clips of or re-releasing some, as well as just the audio files. I'm going to be doing a series of re-releases of everything just on audio podcasts, creating accounts on like the Spotify, I've already got an account on SoundCloud, but I have yet, maybe Mixcloud, all of them. Anywho, back to you, Ben. Thank you.
Most of your viewers are pretty much going to need this guy. I don't think he looks great. He doesn't look too rich to be bro. Yeah. You're also going to find these start decoding these universities in alchemy, specific mathematical equations that you're going to have to bring tarot into it. Tarot. You're going to find out, like, if you want to decode your reality, you want to know how everything works, you want how to fucking master this thing, you're going to need tarot. You're going to need to look at the math and correlations. It's a very, really, they're extremely important. But Osmium, the Wizard of Oz, the Wizard.
Ben, what did something happen with your audio, Ben? Can you speak closer to the microphone? It's cutting out, or we're not able to hear you as well right now.
Well,
now we're good. Now it's
you're not getting me now? Is that better?
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
absolutely better.
There we go. Out that
XRP to the moon,
hermit.
859. Sorry.
Like the Wizard of Oz, when you get osmium here, you're going to find out like all of these movies, music, allegories, people's names, when you start doing their you know what I mean? Their, what the fuck do you call it?
The spell casting.
Numerology. There you go. The numerology. Like, my numbers, I always get 56, 5 and 6, 11, which is a combination of 5 and 6. I get that just unbelievably. You know what I mean? So, this barium would be something that's really important to me. This would tell me a lot about what manifests into my life, and you know what I mean, what some of my strengths are going to be. And the name comes from meaning heavy. And I do throw a lot of weight into everything that I do. You know what I mean? Yeah, looking through these things and understanding all the meanings of them, that it is serious, invaluable information. And when you start bringing
creation with each one, it's a matter and creation and elements. It's elementary in creation.
Like for gold, you're gonna find out, aurum. The original, like the Greek word for gold, aurum. You're going to put this into the master you're going to put that into the master cipher. It's going to give you 19, right? So we go ahead and look here. What's the 19th tarot card, right? Let's see what the fuck the 19th tarot card gives us. When we get the you know what I mean, aurum out of it, because it's going to give you a 19 through the master cipher. And it's the sun. And if you know anything about your biblical scripture, you're going to know that God always spoke with the voice of a child behind a veil, and nobody ever beheld his face. And what do you have here? A happy fucking kid with sunflowers. He's just having fucking the time of his life. There's the sun in the background. You know what I mean? And it's not just tarot. And you always have to remember that the first card is the Fool. It is 0 and card number 22 when it goes from the major arcana into the minor arcana suits. But it's not just tarot. It's the original playing cards. The original playing cards also tie into this. Like, you can use a regular playing card deck as a tarot deck, and you'll start ending up tying those into this too. And they will give you incredibly invaluable alchemical information. And there's the animal cards. The Native American animal deck will also give you very, very important alchemical information. So what you would do is you'll take a place or a name, or, you know what I mean, you go through, you know, say you're reading up about something about alchemy, right? So you'll go to gematrinator.com and you'll pull up the ciphers. And if, you know, the original name for this thing was Hebrew, you'll want to use the Hebrew cipher, you know, the Latin cipher, and I'm gonna do you a favor, buddy. I usually charge hundreds and hundreds of dollars in my school for this information. You're going to be using the Chaldean cipher. The Chaldean cipher works on a scale of 1 to 8, and it is not a phonetic cipher. This is a cipher that works on the building blocks of the universe itself, and it goes on a scale to 1 to 8. So there's no 9s, you know what I mean, or you know, anything in the Chaldean cipher. It is just numbers 1 from 8, and that is on gematrinator.com. So you would take the name of an element. You're going to want to look at it in its original language if you can find the cipher for it. Otherwise, you'll want to use the Chaldean cipher, and you'll type in that, and then you go and type in both, you know what I mean, the weight of it. And this number will also have extreme significance, and so will any of the meanings behind the element. And this will catapult you 20 fucking years into your alchemical research if you're really trying to decode alchemy. You're going to need tarot. You're going to need the playing cards. You're going to need to know which suit is air, earth, water, fire. You're going to need to know that, you know, the Fool is like kind of like a fucking wild card. It's card 0 and 22. You're going to need, if you're really trying to do the masterwork, you want to do the good deed.
Hey, real quick.
And, you know, I'll leave it there. Yeah.
Hey, could you tell us about your past and how you got into this? How did it? So I am very similar to you, and I'm curious. You're way ahead of me in this department. But can you tell me how you got it and what was the beginning of this for you?
I'm reluctant to tell you who's taught me.
Oh, only what you're comfortable with.
I started to get an inkling. I started to get an inkling of it on my own. I knew that the Illuminati were using numbers, dates, and esoteric meanings and geometries. Like if you look at, you know, stage constructions at concerts, the dates that they do things on, they're using sympathetic vibration. You know what I mean? They're creating a geometry. They're channeling the energy through it. They're taking it from them. You know what I mean? They're bending it to their own. Sometimes they'll do things when the shadow of the obelisk is cast behind it. You know what I mean? They did 9/11 because when you break anything down in mathematics, you're going to get a 9.
Now that would be
Illuminati confirms.
Illuminati confirmed. Okay.
Can't stop me.
You will talk to them people.
Pragmatic.
Be careful, they're going to take a scan of your eyes.
Yeah, I had to play the crazy. I like to get it.
I am a proud fucking Illuminati, man. I am a proud Illuminated Master. But, you know, there's a big difference between a Rosicrucian Illuminated Master and a fucking regular Masonic Illuminated Master.
Yes, For example, the Rosicrucians are the ones that made the Georgia Guidestones, and I live in Georgia right now. The Rosicrucians were the ones that made that, and it makes me think, you know, if you studied them, actually they're not so bad. Just saying.
I've been invited to join the Masons. I can't even count how many times I've been invited to join the Masons. Okay?
Yeah, in Georgia, you can't be a Mason if you're black. That's going to be a problem for me. You know what I mean? You cannot be a Mason in Georgia if you are black. Just saying.
I don't know if that's true or not, but let's not get into such things on this.
I know. That's the thing. It makes me not want to join them.
Because they allowed people of all races.
Thank you. You're saying words that can't be said on YouTube. And topics.
Sorry.
But it's like,
you know, one of the reasons why I joined the Rosicrucians is because they allow women and people of all races into their order. Another reason why I joined the Rosicrucians is because every single day they do a mass consciousness experiment of all Rosicrucians for world peace. They are, you know, they acknowledge Christ. Okay, so this is where you know you're separating from fuckery here.
I wasn't aware that you were part of that. I want to be part of that. Actually, to be honest, they did make the Georgia Guidestones, right?
Ease up on the F-bombs, please. Less F-bombs, please.
Sorry.
I get strikes on that. You can say shit, though. You're allowed to say shit. As much shit as you want. Shit is allowed, just not the F-bombs.
Hey, I want monetization for all of us. That's what I want.
Exactly.
I can say fudge if I need to. Fudge, man.
I will let you know, dude. Like from 2 years old, I was talking.
Okay, sorry, I'm still listening. I'm just gonna check it on my phone. I'll be listening on the YouTube and checking the Twitch while I'm listening and having a smoke and take a piss. But continue, and I will be lurking in the background.
You're the man. You're the man, Bernie. Could you tell us your website or put it in the comments? Because I don't, or a way to learn more about your stuff. Because I can't comment in the comments.
My website is still under construction because I'm still assembling my curriculum. When you take into consideration when you have to get all the master, most venerated works of yoga, all the master, most venerated works of breathing, all the master, most venerated works about learning, you know, tarot and which tarot deck to use for what, all the master venerated works on chakra work, fucking vowel intonations, equalizing all of your energies that, you know what I mean? Like my friend was dying. She was going into AFib 5 days a week until I taught her that all of your acupuncture points, that you can tap them. You know what I mean? And that will equalize your body's energy fields. And she's not dying now. You know what I mean? I had to really like take that and just cram it down her throat. You got to do this or I'm going to kick your ass. You know what I mean? She did. And now she's not having heart failure 4 times a week. But, you know what I mean? When you really are setting up a system to bring somebody from the point all the way from complete ignorance to Christ mind, man, I mean, that is, you have no idea the scale of organizing this. But my website is under construction. If you want to learn from me, if anybody wants to learn from me, either my Facebook or my personal.
I do want to know more, man. I've been studying this stuff forever. I was into all kinds of things. My dad was a minister, Pentecostal minister, and I just revoked Christianity early on. And I've been to Hare Krishna temples. I was in Scientology for 10 years. Like, I've been pursuing what I believe to be God, and now I'm discovering this alchemy thing. I've been following Tesla for years. I know everything about Tesla. I know everything about the Great Pyramid too. I know more than almost 99% of the population. Do you know there's a heart pumping water into the Great Pyramid? Absolutely.
What is the upper chamber in the pyramid look like? What's the uppermost chamber look like?
Well,
how many?
I don't want to make Bernie mad.
Pieces do you get?
There's like 6 of them.
Hold on, let me finish, man. What alignment of the year? of the Pleiades and Alpha Draconis, what year shows you the timeline of humanity through the actual 1-inch measurements of the unfinished sections of the bottom of the pyramid to show you the entire timeline of humanity?
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah,
much more.
there's nothing
Nobody knows
unfinished
everything about the pyramid, man. And I know a lot about the fucking pyramid. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Nobody knows.
Hey, let me play. I could play a thing I made. Bernie might get mad because it could be copyright protected, but it's a clip. Well, let me tell you this.
I'm going to tell you.
The bottom chamber of the pyramid. The bottom chamber is a heart pump that pumps water up into the top, and I've talked to the dude who discovered this.
Hey, yes, you're right.
Christopher
the Ark
Dunn.
of the Covenant, the King's Chamber, and when the light shines down the shaft, hits the Ark of the Covenant, it starts a particle accelerator.
Yep.
And it positively
And the
charges
King's
that
Chamber.
ionization. There's a pressure system. Those 3 slabs drop outside of the King's Chamber. Bam, you get rain.
Yep. It's a ram pump. It's a ram pump which rednecks use in all the time. It pumps water uphill. It's not for energy, even though it does appear to be, because it's using atmospheric pressure and gravity, and it does push water uphill. And it does it like click, 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 click. But they literally designed a heart pump. Bernie might get mad if I play this, but I could totally play it right now. It's a video I put together. I've talked to the dude who discovered this. He actually made a replica of the subterranean unfinished chamber, and it literally goes. It makes a human heartbeat, and it's pushing water up.
Yeah, it's the timeline.
And the King's Chamber, by the way, the King's Chamber is an elevator.
If you look at it,
it's not connected to the wall.
It'll show you the pillars where World War I started, World War II started, and then in between, when the Nazis fucking got anti-gravity and colonized space, it even has a thing on the ceiling to show you that. I mean, it has the start of the Iraq War. It has the start of the fun backs. It has the start of the fun backs when they started altering the VMAT2 gene. It's got that. It's got everything in there. Every inch of that floor.
The center of all landmass. It should be. You bet. And Thoth built it. You know what pyramid means in Latin? It means fire in the middle.
Yes,
Pyromid. It does, doesn't it? Of course, man. Everybody. All the way back to the Carlos Castaneda, you know. The King's Chamber moves up and down.
I'm going to share
an
my
elevator.
screen.
It's not connected to the ceiling. The floor is not connected to the walls. It moves up and down like an elevator. This is a Herod's pump.
You see this?
You know what Herod's pump is? Herod's pump? Herod's fountain is called. It pumps water uphill also. Let me play it. I don't think Bernie will get mad. He's worried about getting demonetized, but this is not his channel that it's monetized anyway. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you see what I'm sharing here on my screen?
No, I only see your face.
Oh shit! Hold on, here we go. Before you.
Good looking face, by the way.
That up. Let me,
fucking savage. Okay, Bernie's back.
No. Sorry, we got something else being shared first, and it is.
No, we're cut off.
All right. Where is?
Since it's going live right now. He's just made another discovery of an ancient American burial or native site in the U.S. I've been talking with him a whole bunch, doing some Star Fort research, and we're going to be doing an interview of Dutch Sense coming soon. But let's play his clip. He's premiering right now. This new discovery.
Go back to the
Oh, come on. Wrong one. Come on. Boom. Node, come on, internet, come on. Gonna work? Oh, God. Stupid ads. Here we go. See any super chats that get to go, make sure to play anymore.
Then now look, next from lake to lake like this, and it's ancient, it's old. These are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old, guys. Oh well, I mean, I would say at least, from what I know about Idaho and weathering and it being somewhat arid up there, we're talking others. But this canal system, you can see where the old wagoneers back in the West went right across here. These are the wagon trails going out west. So wagon trails are going through here. And that lets you know, again, wagon trails are going and passing through here. And it goes into here where this is another old one that's got, this could be a buffalo even. It's got the leg, but anyway. So what I wanted to show you was this, and to show you that it's marsh area made in that shape, and that farmers must have done it as a tribute to American Indians. That's what we were told. Farmers tribute.
I'm getting huge lag on this thing. Yeah, you're lagging out, Bernie. Oh, well, while he's lagging, you wanted to know about me. You know, like from an early age, man, I was
here. Let me show you where
I was getting
it is in relation.
There we go.
Everything else, the U some built like this, but it's connected with canal system. Now canal system is much. So there's a river up to the north that feeds this. Let's go show you. So the river is right up here, and you can follow the canal system off of here up to the north, which it's been weathered over time, but you can still see it. They built roads and tore up a little bit, but it goes right out to it, guys. It goes right out to the river where or at least kept site to site full of water. So nobody can tell me Farmer Joe's out there paying tribute to Indians in the 1800s when we literally have wagon train going through here. And that's how we're talking hundreds of years old. So I'm thinking way older than 1800s on some of these. What's going to need to immediately turn this over to you. And I'm going to prove to you that nothing comes up on American Indian at all. We're going to just keep scrolling down and scrolling down. Look, they just have it as a prairie reserve. There is not one thing, and I'm going to take you through the pictures too to prove to you that nobody's. And I mean, like, you would need some kind of, there would be some, look what they got there. Look at this. Look at this. Look, it's a scandal. This needs to immediately be turned over to all American Indians to go up and investigate, to go up and do their thing if they want to build another set of mounds to dedicate it to it, or if they just want to.
This is lagging so fucking hard, it's unbearable.
Yeah, it's fine though. Hey, listen, I'm gonna put my number in the private chat.
Oh,
I'd like to hook up with you.
I can't see it, but here, anybody can take down my Facebook. It's facebook.com/SoHigh7, or you go look for Benjamin Wolf on Facebook in Seattle.
If you want me to measure these in
my
feet,
number is.
We'll do that in feet.
Mm-hmm.
My number is 206 627 3984. What's weird
Look,
is
we're
all
talking
of my numbers, even
as
my
big as the
Discord ID ends in 84. It's tripping me out.
It was 206 627
3984. Yeah, anybody can hit me up. I do not charge a set rate. I go on
These might be risen up too, in which case where do they get the debris?
You know what I mean?
I would think they dug
what
this
your
out and
income is what will
piled
be
this
fair
up
to you. I'm not an asshole. So.
from the plus, but that actually says these are rising. Hold on.
But I break the rules. If you're the right stuff, I will actually give you the monographs. You know what I mean? Like the Illuminati, real fucking Illuminati lessons. Like I have them all. Like if you're the right stuff for it, you know what I mean? I'll initiate you as long as you don't tell any of them.
Don't tell anybody.
I'm barred from the order.
Also, beside the Queen's Chamber is a giant room, bigger than the Queen's Chamber but longer, and it looks like the inside of a flute or something. It's like a weird thing, and it's filled with quartz sand made of finely ground quartz. So I made some of that finely ground quartz, and I literally crushed it with a hammer. It's singing. They call it singing sand. I missed that last part.
Have that pressure system going on. I said when you have small cavities full of quartz dust and limestone dust between the pyramid stones, between the masonry work, they're also part of those relief valves. Okay, what these are is they're pressure relief valves. Remember, I said in that system they drop the 3 slabs. It's to give a little bit of give when you're using the thing as a fucking rainmaking machine, because you're polarizing that hydrogen, and the entire thing, the weight of the pyramid itself works as a piezoelectric machine. Just like if you squeeze a piece of quartz, you get electricity. The entire pyramid itself, the weight of its own self, out of its own material, generates this electricity. So does the water that moves underneath it in all of those caverns.
You bet. And granite sucks up water or anything near it. Sorry.
Yeah. And it's to charge it. It's to charge it. It's because when you enter a pyramid, you are not allowed to enter the pyramid until you had mastered almost 30 years of Illuminati training. The very last ritual that you would do in the ancient Illuminati schools, it was called the Sabku ritual. And that's where they would take you into the king's chamber, put you in the sarcophagus, and put a ton lid on the thing. And leave you in there with what oxygen you had. What you were able to accomplish with the pyramid, which all of these hidden chambers in the pyramids are going to be in the positions of the chakras and the occult anatomy. There are 13 hidden chambers in the pyramid.
Yes.
And the pyramid also, like if you look at my head to the side here, you look at the king's chamber right here in the third eye, and you'll have the queen's chamber where you speak your spells in your throat chakra. And if you take a human, and also the grand gallery is the path of oxygen to the nose cavity. You can also take a person.
They use the pendulum aiming up your nose to the mind's eye.
And when they let the pyramid, you get the heart.
Chuck,
and here, like I've got a picture
Sorry,
here.
before we continue,
Frank, can you go into the settings and go into the audio settings and make sure that you have the static sound cancellation options connected or clicked, just to see if that helps at all. Because yeah, there is some distortion coming from your end. Like it's okay, like when you're
I'm
speaking,
gonna save.
but just yeah, the way you're muting yourself out when not speaking, it's appreciated. Thanks, brother. But the problem might be solved in your audio cancellation if it's not selected.
But yeah, the last Illuminati ritual that you did was the Sabku ritual, where they'd put you in the king's chamber in the sarcophagus, and you'd be locked in there with what oxygen you had, and you would go into the deepest meditative state that there is, and you would literally connect by using the pyramid as an energy amplifying device, and you would see all of your forward lives, all of your past lives, and you would see what your karmic lessons were supposed to be. And you would get knowledge from your higher self that is already in the future in a higher dimension. And you would get that because, believe it or not, your higher self wants you to get there faster. So, the reason why these guys are masters of all knowledge is because they went through 30 years of training to literally master every little minute part of themselves. And then they use the pyramid as a freaking amplification device to access themselves in every dimension there is. And then they would retain that knowledge when they came out of there. It's utterly astounding what the thing is, and what you decode out of it. It's just so much. If I believe there's one physical representation on the entire planet that is worth worshiping in a religious way, it's the pyramid. If you just knew what the thing really was, what it was all about, everything that it contains, it's the holy of holies. There's just nothing above it other than
it just says it just laughs at you.
Solomon's temple, where you plug in the Ark of the Covenant and go talk to God. You know what I mean? Other than that, there's nothing more holy on the planet than the pyramid.
Bernie has the audio.
Yeah, I guess it's a little better, but they're like a crazy like fan maybe running right by your audio or something like that. Maybe because that's
it's the computer thing. Okay, give me a sec. I'll work on that. Okay, sorry about that. I'll work on that. Give me a sec.
No worries.
I wish I was able to have read the comments this whole time. I never saw what people were talking about in the comments.
Oh yeah, you can switch back and forth to comments and private chat in the option bar tab there. And at least now you know, I guess. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm having to look at one on
better?
YouTube and the other one on this StreamYard platform.
Well, so the StreamYard platform, if you can toggle back between where it says live and private chat, I think, and or comments and private chat. If you click on the comments, then they should start appearing for you on the right hand side.
I'm just looking at what Modern Archive is saying about neodymium here in the chat.
Nice.
Is my audio better?
Yes, absolutely, Frankie, 100%.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Use the F1.
But oh Jesus, there's some things I have to keep a lid on and save for future chats, you know.
For sure, exactly, right? It's like we're going for almost 3 hours now. It was an excellent like first like live for Alchemy having you on, Ben, and like everything that you covered. Like I said, I'm gonna be having to rewatch this 3 times over just I divulge everything that you have shared in that critical knowledge and your alchemical teaching tonight. We're
Bernie,
going to be doing.
like I said, I've already picked you as a chosen one, my brother. If who's teaching me these things, like I said, man, like I'm barely just in the smallest sense being able to grasp these things, man. If you're a master of the work, I'll introduce you to him. I know him personally. He is one of the most incredible people on the planet. I swear he's the smartest freaking wizard I've ever known. Master Rosicrucian I've ever met. And believe me, I've talked to more than half of the Grand Council. I've known guys that's a great white brother who watch over and kiss their ass all the time for their work. And I'm telling you, this guy, he makes them look like freshmen. He's a genius. He's the wizard, man. I swear, he cracked the universal code, dude. Whew.
Bert and Ernie are epic.
Yeah, I've been trying to give Bernie here a good majority of like the higher knowledge that I have and that I've been able to get over the years, because I believe that for one, he's pure heart. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, and he knows the right people to make some things happen with it. And so I'm
absolutely. He's got the personality for it too. He's about to become a major fucking star. I feel like science and spirituality are about to collide, and we are right at the forefront. And he's going to be. That's why I want to do a major. I feel like we should be doing a documentary. This should be a documentary. These things are unfolding right in front of us, and you watch and see if I'm not right. This should be a documentary. I don't know what he's doing right now, but it's cool.
Yeah, he's got a cool setup in there, man.
Yeah, he does, man. He's got it going on. I want to see more of this. It's very hard for me to communicate with everyone because they're all over the world. I am in Georgia, right above Florida. Where are you?
Oh, I'm in Seattle. Oh, by the way, I never got to finish on that.
Man, Seattle's a good place to be. Yeah, we should continue this. I'm burning out. Let's do another show of this. Can we hook up?
See, Christian Rosenkreutz, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag on this one. One of the things you learn as a Master Templar, and one of the things you only get told at the 33rd degree of Masonry and highest levels of Illuminati, is you find out why the Templars have such a veneration for John the Baptist. And you find out that John the Baptist was Christian Rosenkreutz. He's the one who founded the Rosicrucians and was one of the guy who personally threw Blavatsky out.
You're shitting me. John the Baptist is the founder of the Rosicrucians?
Also, this is a lot of things that people don't know about the Rosicrucians is, you go and look at their history and everybody's like, oh, there's no original Rosicrucian order. Their lineage is scattered all over the place. He started in Germany. 200 years ago it was France. Where's the real Rosicrucian? The Rosicrucians go dark every 100 years. And they stay dark for 100 years. And then they stay working for 100 years. And they go dark for another 100 years. And this is because of the incarnation cycle. John made it this way on purpose because he didn't want anyone other than him and his chosen group screwing the fucking thing up. Yeah, I'm sorry with my language again.
That's okay.
He wanted to be the only one who was running it, and he wanted to, have his select people that he knew were true men of God at the wheel.
What if he had a good reason to do that, and that was a righteous thing to do? Like, there were archangels. You know what I mean?
Look at what happened to the Masons. Look at what happened to the Masons. Look at the infiltration and corruption into the Masons. They are the they are the most serious Luciferian act of horror upon the earth. Okay, when I was special forces, and when I tell you, like, I was doing shit that is literally at the very top of what human beings are doing, not only on Earth, but elsewhere.
Your audio is cutting out a little bit.
It's not surprising.
Of course. Yeah, you said the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
Of this.
I'll tell you this. Our general didn't take orders from anybody in the government. Our general took orders from a civilian mason whose only pip and insignia was a crook and flail behind a glass case.
What year was
there
that?
You have your. I'm not going to go into that.
Oh, okay, okay. It's a fair question, though.
You're talking about 1 year can end up being many more years and then go back and be no years at all. You're talking about people with the.
It can put names on the people you're talking about, too.
I can't. Last time I started naming names, I got threatened by the.
That's what I was saying. Answering that question would put names on the people you're talking about, for sure. You know, it's going to narrow it down to top 10, right?
I can't say. There are
no offense. I had to ask.
There are a lot of generals. There's a lot of bloodline masons who have the bloodline of kingship. There's plenty of them. They're all over the place.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. A lot of people.
I'm learning that they're not all bad. I used to think that all the secret things were bad, and then I realized that the ancient mystery schools, where was Jesus from age 12 to 30? Strangely, he's missing from the Bible. The most studied person on earth ever. Age 12 to 30 is pretty fucking important. Excuse my language.
No, it wasn't until age 33. 11 years in the school of
Even worse. Even worse.
The school of thought. 11 years in the school of Ra. And now you know why they called him King of Kings.
Did you say the school of Ra? Your audio's kicking out again. Where do you think he
didn't show up on the scene until he was 33 years old in the year of his prithvi. That is 11 years in the schools of Ra, 11 years in the schools of Horus, and 11 years in the school of Thoth, Ra, and Horus. Okay? Those are the three guys. He was a bloodline pharaoh. And for those of you who don't understand what that truly means, it means that Jesus was black.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was black. Get over it.
Yeah.
Jesus was black.
And he was Egyptian. And Akhenaten was Moses. Akhenaten was Moses. There's for sure. King Tut's dad was Moses. Right? I mean, come on.
No. King Tut's dad was Akhenaten.
Akhenaten was Moses, I think. Yeah, I think that was Moses.
Hey, there is a very good argument that Akhenaten made with Moses. And I'm very surprised that you know that. Akhenaten is like the Rosicrucian patron.
Unfortunately, it wasn't my. I know. Unfortunately, it wasn't my idea. I wish I could say it was, but someone else said that, and it's super obvious. So the Ark of the Covenant fits right into the sarcophagus to the Great Pyramid. You got the Israelites fleeing in the Exodus, eating manna. By the way, this all adds up. You know.
The more I think that Akhenaten just set him up.
I'm sorry, your audio is cutting out again.
The more I've learned about Moses, it makes me think that Akhenaten helped set him up.
Your audio is cutting out again. Oh my God. Bernie's turning the page. I can't hear your audio. It seems like video would cut out first. I'm just saying. What is this?
Am I still cutting out really badly?
Realm of unfathomable mysteries. It sounds like unobtainium.
I love unobtainium.
What is he looking at? What is Bernie looking at right now?
I have no idea. Oh, but no, like I said, the more I learn about Moses, it makes me think that Akhenaten helped set him up to get the Israelites out of Egypt, which Akhenaten did want to do, and that you know what I mean. But I do not, you know, at first I was almost certain that Moses was Akhenaten. Now I'm almost completely certain that it's not, because Akhenaten.
Oh, okay.
on teaching the law of one material, that raw him. The doctrine that Akhenaten was pushing is almost exactly the same as the law of one material. And that is a sun-based religion. Now, Moses, if you look at earlier artworks of Moses, he has horns and he's worshiping a moon god.
It's the bull, right?
Worshiping a moon god, and they were worshiping him over a freaking volcano. So when you hear about, oh, you know, our God followed us and was a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, as soon as Mount Sinai was active, you know what I mean? He runs up the mountain and it's on fire, and he comes down with the Ten Commandments and put it together. No, not the same man. And I would argue this until hell froze over. I really would. I know a lot more about, you know, Moses' journey and his shit than I know a lot about Akhenaten too. I thought the same at one point, but I really have to deny that conclusion now. I wanted to.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what Bernie is showing, but it looks like ancient Tartaria.
Sorry about this sound, but those are the pyramids of Giza, but they're shaped and designed in the same Starfort battery layout.
Oh man. You know these forts, the bays, they seem to look like microwave, the inside of a magnetron. So you have this C formation, which is the inside of the bay, which is a coil, and then you have the two pillars that you've got to go between to get in the bay, and that's the capacitor. I think that's what it looks like. If you look at a magnetron, or look at it, go to YouTube and go to a video on how magnetrons work for microwave ovens. They're repeating coil capacitor things that repeat over and over again. And it looks just like these ancient bays. Bays are the wrong word. What's the right word? The right word would be... I think I've lost audio. Maybe.
On the background images that you have for your live stream on some of the stuff I was sending, or is that just like stuff I had noticed before? It's gonna blow their mind. They're not gonna want to like it. They're not gonna like it. Right now, basically it's a map that shows you where all of the Earth mineral gates and what their waypoints are.
Did you get my text?
You know what? Here's an interesting thing I'll bring up while we're bullshitting. The very first lesson that I give my students is about the nature of life.
Boom! We just made it to 3 hours.
And, you know, modern science and geneticists, they cannot predict all of the processes, mucous membranes, and all the things that the body is with only 46,000 chromosomes. There should be over 126,000 chromosomes to account for all the things that we are. And, you know, I'm looking to see if I got your text on my front. Taking into account that the world's most simple three-celled organism that respirates, secretes, and you know, eats, secretes, and respirates, right? Just 3 cells. A jelly sack with 3 freaking spheres in it that's capable of sucking things in and out has 36,000 chromosomes. You're telling us that we only have 10,000 more chromosomes than a 3-celled organism? No. We should, yeah, I got you. Fuck me on here. All right. What this scientist ended up finding when he put a cut section of the DNA in a vacuum chamber and he started bombarding it with photons, he found that not only did the DNA literally suck up photons and align it perfectly on its lattice work, even when you took the DNA out of the chamber, there was a phantom filament that was visible and photographable, that you were able to photograph for a full solar cycle. So for 30 days, you were able to see the outline of this DNA lattice that had a bunch of photons that it had sucked to it. And it's the fact that sunlight conveys intelligence, sunlight conveys instructions, evolutionary instructions, and that it binds to DNA, and more than 2/3 of what you are is actually collected sunlight. And you start to learn about how you're really made of light, and that you actually are endowed with some of the massive creative power of what the sun actually is. And then I move my students on, from that point to learning how to master that light and become illuminated, themselves. But it's really very interesting to me, especially when you go into the Indian Vedic legends and the 2012 clock. It really seems like the sun and photons, light particles, are really at the center of the whole mystery that we're in. As far as life goes, it's really all about light. Different vibrations of light. It never ceases to amaze me all the different things that light can become. Oh, jeez, dude, that's simple. That.
Oh, this is the medicine wheel in Alberta. The star calendar in Alberta. It's magically in my book.
This should be a documentary.
Frankie, excellent idea. You're in charge of it. You can edit all the clips to put it together. You're welcome back all the time. It's
okay. I need to question you thoroughly first. It should be that. There's plenty of stuff to do a documentary. By a lot, too. Most of my friends haven't heard of this, dude. Having to explain this to all my friends.
Here. Is this spot right here?
Do you know that the last place that frog was said to be alive examine the Summa Perfectionis, which is one of like the greatest alchemical texts of all time.
Bernie, did you ever read the Bible? You know the wheels inside of wheels? You know, in Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel? It describes UFOs.
Wheels.
It says there were wheels inside of wheels.
The pyramids in Nazca. The pyramids in Nazca. Star Destroyer. It looks like a crash Star Destroyer. Oh man, there's other stuff. Man. You guys want to get into aliens? Oh gosh. Oh man.
Yeah, what is that? Something I don't want to meet.
One man, these are in the UK.
Hey man, you know what, Bernie? We're gonna have to do an entire episode on just what I know about the Nazis and what they achieved in the way of psychic work, gravity, connecting, communicating to extraterrestrial species, all of the technology they got their hands on, and then how that translated into the U.S. power structure in the 40s, the 1950s, flyby over the White House was after Admiral Byrd. You know what I mean? When they sent us.
Yeah. Let's talk about Admiral Byrd.
Man, freaking happened, bro. I'm gonna tell you, like, what I did. I was in the evolutions of those programs, bro. So I know a bit.
You guys know that 6 months ago, I would have given a 0 to Flat Earth and to lizard people, and I give conspiracy theories a number, and that number on a 1 to 100 scale has always been 0 for alien lizard people. But now that I understand this alchemy and I'm looking into it, it's changing. The Flat Earth is still, I'm still pretty much 0.001% chance. Because all heavenly bodies are spheres. You know what I mean? You can see it in the microscope. That's now, however, Hollow Earth now has changed. Within 6 months, dude, I've been a conspiracy theorist my whole life. I'm 50, and I've been a conspiracy theorist since I was 20. And now it's weird at 50 for it to change, where I now believe in transmutation, sort of. And now I don't like it, actually. Yeah. Makes me have to redefine things.
What an amazing book. Hey man, I'm gonna have to tell you right off the bat, dude, the Alpha Draconis. Okay, they have multiple different tiers to their society. But I'm gonna tell you right here that when you find out, you know, the story of the fallen angels and how Tiamat blew up and Mars was its moon and the moon was its moon and all that shit, and how the fallen angels got their asses kicked, it wasn't by other angels, man. They got their ass handed to them by the Alpha Draconis, and then the Nazis brought them back here, and we're having to deal with that. And I don't think you want to know what the result has been from us having to deal with the Alpha Draconis again, man. Because, you know, when you hear about, you know, MK or like MK Ultra, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
His channel band. Yeah. And you hear about, you know, butterfly programming.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Know, you hear about 20 and backs and stuff like that. And that's what they're doing to a lot of people that they send up to go deal with those people.
That's me. Unicorn Bear Man.
Yeah. I have to assume because I am a spiritual person, but I'm also a skeptic, like a scientist. I have to have proof, or like clearly something's out of whack. It doesn't take much of a brain to know that definitely something's not right. And I'm looking for the rat. Right? There's a rat. I can smell a rat. Right? It's super obvious what it is, but I'm not going to blurt it out. You know what I mean? Until I have proof. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is like, that's a really hard thing to prove. That's some of the most protected knowledge in the world, man. People die to protect that knowledge. But I can tell you, yours truly over here dabbled in those circles, man. You know what I mean? I am an extreme intuitive empath. I can pick up on people anywhere in the world just from text. I have literally melded my soul into other people's souls and felt what it felt like to be in their skin and stimulate their nerve endings to play around, you know what I mean, and have them able to do the same and taste what they're drinking, taste, what they're eating, smell what they're smelling.
But you're involved in the Rosicrucian initiate thing, right?
Yeah, but I had those abilities way before I joined the Rosicrucians at 27 years old. Yeah, no, I've been an intuitive empath since I came out of the box, dude. You're born with that kind of thing. And I can tell you that they only take people like that into programs. Like
Born Adept.
And I mean, I can't convince it because I can't physically present proof, but
you don't have to convince me. It's super obvious. I've been playing with all these exercises that they're saying to do myself, and they work to the point where it's creepy, actually.
I'll tell you who was responsible for it. I'll tell you that. Maria Orsich was the one who brought the Alpha Draconis to the Nazis. If you want to research her and all the stories and stuff about her, I would start...
You talking about the Vril chick?
Yes. You need to start with Bill Tompkins. And there's a specific video that Bill Tompkins did where he just gives you the most whopping slice of disclosure pie I've ever ate. I mean, I knew already.
Can you send the link? Can you send the link to that? Because I'm like brain dead. It's like you're in Seattle. I am on the East Coast, and it is 5 a.m. or something, and I'm like beast. But I want to know what you're. Can you link in the chat?
Hold on, I'm trying to find
Bernie. If you can, that would be cool. Or have Bernie get your number to me. You know what I mean? So we don't have to do it like right now. I'd like to talk to you though.
Y'all haven't even figured out the private chat by now? Come on. All right.
He hasn't.
We have been live for 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 48 seconds. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
You gotta end it on
I don't gotta go.
Look at that. It is 2:22 a.m. in Calgary, Alberta, where I am right now. Exactly on the dot. Do I give another 20 minutes and end this?
3.1415, you have to end the stream. In 2 seconds, right now, end it. Oh, you ended it past Psy, you son of a bitch.
No, I'm keeping it going. You're stuck for another 20 minutes. Or everybody's blessed with another 20 minutes because of all of those twos, that synchronicity. I give an extra 20 minutes, and we're going to end at 3 hours, 3333. Illuminati confirmed. And with that, we're going to play a little. We got to play a little.
Sorry, if you pay attention to like your favorite artists' albums and you look at their song, you know what I mean, lengths, you'll see that they all use a specific numerology for it. If you want to catapult your videos way out into the consciousness, use the math. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I agree. The elites do it. We got to start doing it. Watch out! I think the new crypto Alchemist logo. Shout out Esra and the Flames. We love Sarah. Mindful Exposures and YouTube meetup. Obviously, I don't think I'm making it out there now that winter has set in until springtime. But the Medicine Hat Badland Guardians, we will be doing a full YouTube meetup. Anybody who wants to come along, we're going to camp out here. We're both going to get like a hotel group or motel group in Medicine Hat to base out of the town, but then also set up like some tents and a camp out in the Badlands in this area and explore it for a couple days. When we come out in the springtime, I got a drone, I got some cameras. I'm going to finally bust them out to start using, documenting this, and try to get the geoglyphs. And documenting the geoglyphs, these lines of megalithic lines that Fairham has found as this ancient mapping site, to confirm that is absolutely astonishing, and what I look forward to doing this springtime. And all of you beautiful souls that want to join us, because there's several actual in both Calgary as well as Alberta, BC, or around my area, YouTuber community. Shout out to other Frankie, New West Reset. He's actually in Calgary, same city as me, does great mud flood research and old world dig. In my town, we're going to go hit up the Hart Mansion Tartarian mud flooded building together. And is it haunted? I know it is. I've grown up around it. I've had several paranormal experiences there. But yeah, so anybody else, shout out to Craig and Sharon, amazing souls that have supported this channel, sent me some CBDs from their medical plantation out in BC. You guys are pretty close. If you guys want to come in the spring, shout out Jill W. Sorry, sister, I gotta get back to you. I hope you're moving, settling in good. But if you want to travel up in the springtime, and anybody that wants to travel up and come explore these places, boots on the ground, real actual meetup, see if it actually maps to these things. It's gonna be epic. And the balls. Are we gonna find any Bernie balls? Apparently these were also in these Badlands. And this star calendar, this 5,000-year-old known as Canada's Stonehenge star calendar, is also pretty close by to the same Medicine Hat Badlands. Gonna go there, and eventually I hope to be big enough, fundraised enough to go meet up with Rex and explore the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex system by the end of next summer, because Rex is down time, and it is.
Everybody that tries to do that.
He's already been
Bernie,
chased
I would
off.
love to meet you there.
He's already been chased off with Apache helicopters, all sorts of stuff. So here's the thing, though: if we create Rush the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex, all right, the military can't be like, "Oh, don't go there. We're gonna shoot you," like it was with Rush Area 51, because like Area 51, that's legitimate military, like high security place. If we say Rush the Grand Canyon and then there's a mass slaughter of just people shot down by the government for trying to explore some pyramid, there's going to be some major issues. So, hey, I don't mind being one of the first people to enter Solomon's Temple in the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex. That's what I want to find.
To get to that spot, you have to be such a master rock climber. There's only like 2 native guys that have been doing it their whole lives and know how to handle the heat and the pressure and the weight of having to carry food on your back to actually get to it is so freaking impossible to get to the place without passing out from exhaustion and nearly dying to get to that spot. It would take some doing. It really would.
Shout out TJ57. That's awesome. If you can post a link to that, check it out in a future episode.
I have to crash, I think.
Yeah, 100%. If you got to go, I'm just winding it down. 13 minutes.
Can I play my intro? Can I play my intro?
I don't know because of the music and all of that. The copyright strikes. Not tonight.
The music. Yeah, I understand.
We will be trying it. We will be doing it on other ones where once we get to reminding everybody, please subscribe and post a link once again to both my Rumble account and my OdySee account so that I can get up to 100 subscribers on each and then finally start also live streaming directly to these censorship resistant sites, and we can fully have music and all sorts of things and not worry about
Wouldn't that be amazing?
For some.
That would be amazing.
There is the
Happy Thanksgiving.
Why can't we get
Happy Turkey Day, Happy Colonialization Day, Happy Genocide Day.
I was just thinking of it too. It's like, oh man, it's like Turkey Holocaust. Yeah, sure. Let's celebrate the slaughter of 1 billion turkeys.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, see, right. I didn't even think of that aspect that it's modern day genocide of turkeys. I was saying like it was a genocide day that founded it, and then also people call it Turkey Day to be non-offensive to all the indigenous that were genocided, and to be thankful for genocide. It's kind of like why haven't out of all these snowflake things to freak out about? Well, I'm not thankful for genocides. I'll say that.
Like a walking index of human information.
And a continued
Bernie,
genocide.
thanks for having me, man.
The only thing I know about Thanksgiving.
Save the turkeys.
Got brought turkeys by some people. Like that's all I fucking know about, man. I don't know about Thanksgiving. Oh man.
Ooh. Also, Kate, here we go. There is the Rumble registration. So if you need to register for Rumble, I think it's free, but use that link and then maybe I get some sort of bonus of streaming faster. I don't even know. I've never made a penny off of any of the platforms whatsoever. I've only ever gotten directly donations through PayPal. Anybody that wants to. Oh, also, though, anybody who has donated over the $50 in the past, I've got everybody that's qualified is recorded in the PayPal, but whoever wants their clothing, reach out to me in the private messages or emails. And the deal has always been and stands that put the $50 donation and you're willing to pay the cost of shipping, I will send you one of the shirts of mine, one of the designs. We just got to go through it. Everybody that has donated that wanted the clothing, reach out to me. Let's make it happen. You donated for it. You did good things. You paid money. Let me give you the dope clothes.
I want some for sure.
And fundraising. It is Black Friday. Why is it Black Friday? That just sounds racist. It's Deal Day Friday, and it is Cyber Monday coming up, and I need to get another $150, I believe, into by that time, hopefully sooner than later, to be able to upgrade to a better laptop where I can start editing videos. We need me editing videos. Come on, everybody. Faster
I'm also
streams.
going to ask any of your viewers if they know anybody that has platforms, you know what I mean, that works with AI that does like advanced computation.
Okay, yeah. You're going to have to talk to Zertis on that a bit more. Yes, he does. He's got some good connections for that. Thank you for reminding me. It needs to be done on many things. That also reminds me of Discord and how well the Discord community is in the Zertis community. If you're big in Discord, head on over to Zertis's Discord. In the next week or two, I'm setting up my Raspberry to finally get my Discord server going and expanding on that community, as well as Telegram. All the links are in the description of these videos, as well as my 7 alchemical processes. This has been Adept Alchemist and Frankie Abertron leads out Lead Salad. Thank you both for joining the stars of the show. Bert and Ernie equals BurnEye, where literally I am a meme fucking myself and I'm gay, because that's what Bert and Ernie would be doing if I was them and split personality.
Whatever. That's fine. More power to them. If you don't like gay marriage, don't get gay married. It's just that simple.
So, question, CJDV, next autodidactic alchemist stream. I believe it'll be 1 week's time. Campbell is halfway through his Northern Australian tour, and then he'll be back. But maybe, if we're lucky, one this Monday, if Campbell and Kelly are able to do it from Kelly Tartari Australia's farm, if they're able to get service. 1 week from now, the Crystal Battery stream with the Hutchinsons, the amazing Nancy Hutchinson and John Hutchinson, and the free energy builds. Tomorrow, and the next episode of Real Science with Zertis, myself, alien scientist, and possibly the unbelievably amazing Bob Greenyer of the Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project. And Saturday is the Twitch focused Science of the Sound episode 5 stream happening, podcast, and special guest DJ Crystal Fresh, world famous, going to be joining in most likely, and probably Ominous will be back as well. If you haven't seen the Homunculus Alchemy Juan on Juan podcast, amazing Juan, the chosen one. I'm doing another podcast with Juan, Dr. Longo of Old World, Florida, myself, and Zertis. And once Campbell is back, we're doing an autodidactic alchemist roundtable with the amazing Paul Cook, Michelle Gibson, that beautiful soul of sisters, coming back. We're going to have her on with myself, Paul, Campbell. It's going to be epic. There's so much to come. You got to give me in
those alchemist circles, man.
It never ends. Alchemist work is never done. Righty, what? Oh, we got 5 minutes. 5 minute countdown.
That's
everybody.
That's for you.
Do. Let's
Bernie.
get the faces.
So
Dude,
I've been talking.
Bernie,
to
there
one
should be a.
Should be a what now?
There should be a final song that you go out with.
Damn straight, I'm getting it done. I'm gonna be recording a theme song, intro and outro. I'm also, and thank you for reminding me, going to be recording some merchandise where I actually show off all of my BurnCron shirts. Today, I'm not actually wearing one of my own shirts. I'm wearing the OG Christian Audige original Che Guevara collaboration as ballin'.
Oh my
god! Three pine cones. All three of them.
Your opening is really good.
There's definitely some
really
good. I'm waiting
played your opening for people.
Oh, here we go. I
It's really-
think this is the amount of time. All right. And this is an amazing intro outro called Wake Up, featuring myself, Campbell, and Michelle Gibson. I love the message.
We've seen this.
This is the bit, isn't it? That confuses me. It's like, did we choose to come here to get this sorted out, or is this just seems a little unfair, doesn't it? That you know, we seem to be here, and there's this parasite messing up our experience.
And, you know, I know in my own life, the times that I've made major changes, it was like it became more painful not to change than to change. That was when I made big changes.
You know, it's this whole ridiculous narrative of, it's, you know, it's an unsafe world. There's not enough for you. It's scary. Everyone's out to get you. And clearly the old civilization was completely the opposite to that. It was all about empowerment, like literally.
Cosmic resonance, I think they called that one. Or
Cosmic
something
resonance, that's a better name.
Real science, you can actually produce free electricity, and this is part of what Tesla was doing, is the differential between the top of the spire to the ground actually creates an electrical differential that you then connect to another wire that goes into the ground, your grounding. Put that into the third phase in your circuit, and then you have a bell ringing circuit, and that actually produces plasma electricity out of the air. It's real technology. These things actually function producing electricity. It's crazy.
The movies are the truth and the news is the lies. They've completely flipped it.
You know, when you look at everything with new eyes and you come across information like she was born into a very wealthy family with elite connections, you know, it means something very different now to me than it would have even a few years ago. And it's our free will that they've really also messed with, because we've been lied to and we react based on lies. And just getting their independence and end up in civil wars for 20, 30 years happens a lot.
Because we keep choosing to pick up the gun and use it on ourselves instead of building and uniting and accepting that we are one people, one spirit, one harmony on one plane that together, united, can achieve anything we dream of.
So do you want to, you know, wake up, or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult?
And then give them pieces of information that they will then pursue themselves and look into, and then they'll wake themselves up.
I was going to mention it's the whole red pill, blue pill of the Matrix. I mean, that of the movie. And you can consider that movie as a documentary because they're telling us something about what's happening here. So do you want to, you know, wake up, or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult? Wake up.